So I know it like doesn't start immediately once I press the button. So I'm gonna wait a bit and then talk about stuff. But also if anyone can join me so you could like confirm for me that the live stream is going okay. Anyways, as the title says, yeah, actually let me wait just a little bit just in case. Okay. Okay, surely it started by now. Okay, so as the title says, it's gonna be a quick update. I hope I can do this quickly, and also I don't want to believe anyone is like at this time. So anyways, welcome. Today is June 7th, 2026 in Korea time zone. And I have so many things to talk about, but I'm going to say it quickly so that this does not go too long because I have lots of things that I need to do, but I just want to get these updates out of the way. And then so after I get these quick updates out of the way, I will hopefully do more live streams later where I have a lot more time to spare and can explain more in detail about them. So that's what I plan to do. So that's why this is only a quick update about what's been going on with me. So the last time I saw you guys was on my birthday, April 18th. So it's almost 2 months since I last did a live stream, which is crazy. Why? It's still unbelievable to me. Why is time so fast? So we're already in June. We're already halfway into the year. So you know, time is always so fast. So what has happened to me? So last time we talked, life is just life is always going crazy for me. I mean, I can't say it's super crazy. I'm sure other people have more crazy lives than me, but I feel like things are just every year that I live, ever since 2020, in all honesty. So ever since COVID, like I feel like every single year is just always so unbelievable to me. So anyways, it's 2026. We're already halfway through. And last month, May, I went through a lot of stuff. So let me explain what happened to me. So first is that my friend, so I'll go ahead and call her by a nickname so it'll be easier to talk about her because she's a big reason as to what's been going on in my life. So she's my Chinese friend. So she's native Chinese, but she currently lives in Korea. So she's kind of like me. I'm an American, but I live in Korea, but she's Chinese and living in Korea. So let's call her by the name Hua Hua. So that is flower in Chinese. And that is like, recently she thought of this nickname for herself. And I'm just always cracking up that she likes this nickname. And so anyways, yeah, Hua in Chinese means flower. And so her nickname is Hua Hua, just like flower. And so that is what we're gonna call her by. And so anyways, so my friend Hua Hua, she brought this idea to me in May, beginning of May, saying, "Hey, I think we can take a trip to China." And I'm like, "Hold on." I'm like, "Really?" So the thing is, me and Hua Hua, so we've been friends for a really long time. So I moved to Korea in 2013, and I feel pretty sure in 2013 is when I met her. And how I met her is a really long story. I don't think it's something I should talk about, but it's a really big coincidence how I met her, right? Because I'm American, she's Chinese. How did we meet in Korea? A big luck and coincidence, I think, of how we met each other. But also me and her were the same age. So I think that is also really lucky. How could I meet someone who's born the same year as me, right? And so anyways, she's a longtime friend of mine, right? So we've been friends ever since 2013. And so I have always wanted to take a trip to China, of course, because like I'm half Chinese. Yeah, so I'm half Chinese, except my family is more from southern China, Hong Kong area, but I never really explored China as an adult. And so given I have a Chinese friend, I'm like, one of these days, I said this like years ago, one of these days we should take a trip to China. I think it'll be really fun. And so she's like, yeah, I think that'd be fun too. So I said this years ago. And so ever since years ago, I always think about it. Hua Hua, I really hope we can take a trip to China. Maybe by the time is the year of the horse. So Me and her were both born 1990, which is the year of the horse. If you guys know Chinese zodiac, or I don't know what's the official name of it, but there's 12 animals in the Chinese zodiac, and each year is an animal. And so our year 1990 is the year of the horse. And so I just, I always talk about this. I really hope we can take a trip to China one day, but circumstances never allowed it to go to China in previous years. But I always say to Hua Hua, like, really, surely, I hope by the year of the horse, the next year of the horse, which is this year, 2026. So right now, 2026 is the year of the horse. And I'm like, we better take a trip to China during the year of our horse. Isn't that like so meaningful? And like, I've been talking about it for years that I really want to go on a trip to China with her. So I just always had that in the back of my mind. I really hope 2026 in our zodiac year that we can finally take this trip to China. So this is like such like a bucket list for me. It's just because I've been saying it for so long, and we've been living in Korea for so many years, but we never take a trip to China. So yeah, so I just always had that in the back of my mind. And so, hey everyone. So this is really weird. This is really weird because this is like lots of new people here. Interesting. Okay, but wait a second. I have to change the settings. Hold on. Right. Okay, there we go. Okay, but welcome to people who don't know me. Welcome to my channel. This is my my own company channel, but it's mainly me talking with people that I know. But welcome to any of you guys. Welcome. Okay, so anyways, continuing my story. So we've been talking about it forever of going to China together, and finally, last month in May, Hua Hua tells me, yeah, I think it's very possible we can take a trip to China within this month. And I'm like, girlfriend, hold on. I'm like, first off, she's like, yeah, so like depending on her circumstances, and my circumstances, we may suddenly take a trip to China. And I'm just like, hold on, this is too sudden. Like, this is really, this is crazy, but it's exciting. But there were lots of factors to factor in as to how we can both go to China, so like she has her own life, I have my own life. Will the circumstances all work out that we can both go to China? So it took about a month because of circumstances not working out. And finally, end of May, so this was like 2 weeks ago. So end of May, finally, the circumstances were all okay, and we finally took a trip to China. So, okay, yeah. So to anyone, it looks like I don't speak English. Wow. Okay. Yeah, to any new people out here, I was born and raised in the United States. So my first and native language is English, but I'm not very comfortable at speaking English because I know multiple languages. So honestly, I'm not good at any language anymore, but I am most comfortable speaking in English. So thank you for I guess I don't know what to say about that, but I'm proving you wrong. I am a native English speaker. So okay. So finally, Hua Hua tells me that we could finally go to China. And so I had to see, for my circumstances, can I really take a sudden trip to China? And so as I was looking at the circumstances and how much everything will cost and just factoring everything, I was like, you know what, buddy, I think I really could go to China as well. And so I was scared and excited because I finally, after years of talking about this, that we can finally take a trip to China, but also scared at the same time because there are other things I had to do in order to go to China. Hi, Barbara. Okay, I'm glad to see someone that I know here. Hello. But yeah, there are lots of new people here, and again, yeah, just stay or not. And someone is speaking to me in Japanese. I actually don't know any Japanese. I only know English, Korean, and Chinese. So just FYI. Lorelai, happy to see you guys. Okay, so I'm always happy to see my buddies here. So hey guys, I know, long time no see, and I'm here for just a quick update. It should be quick, but we'll see. But anyways, hi guys. So I already started talking about this story, but you guys can watch this on replay later on how my story is going. So my Chinese friend, to anyone who's latecomer, my Chinese friend, her name is, I'm calling her by a nickname Hua Hua, which means flower in Chinese. So when I say Hua Hua, I'm talking about my Chinese friend. I just want to call her by a name so it's easier to explain the story, because she's a big reason for this story. And so anyway, so circumstances was going, don't be sorry, it's okay. I understand I understand, but yeah, I'm happy to clarify things. So wow, so you're from North Africa on a beach and just stumbled upon me. Great. Welcome to anyone around the world. That's crazy. So I, as you can see, I'm speaking English. So I was born and raised in the United States, but I'm currently living in South Korea. So welcome from South Korea. That's crazy, from North Africa. Wow. So back to my China story. So me and Hua Hua, we are looking into going on this trip to China, and everything was working out that I could go to China. Now the thing is, so as an American citizen, I only have one nationality, it's American. So I'm an American citizen, and I have to have a visa to visit China, even if it's for tourism. No matter what, and all USA citizens out there, no matter what reason you're going to China, you have to have a visa. Even if it's like transiting through China, you have to have a visa. So that was one of the factors why we couldn't go to China together in previous years, because at the time, previous years, the tourist visa to go to China, first off, it's quite expensive. It's basically the same price as a plane ticket. But the thing is, it can last for 10 years. So it's a 10-year tourist visa. So I'm like, I guess that would be worth it if I'm going to China many times. But I don't think I would be going to China many times. And so I really debated about this. Is this really worth paying for this visa when I only want to go at least one time? Maybe I'll go 2 or 3 times, but within 10 years, I don't think I would really go to China that often. And so the main reason I really want to go to China is to do this trip with my Chinese friend, Hua Hua. So that just always was a big factor of me not able to go to China yet. I'm like, man, I just wish there was an easier way that I can go to China without having to do this long, difficult visa. And also the visa process, it's a lot of documentation you have to give to them. And I'm just like, this is not worth it, And so as I kept debating about if I even could go to China because I hated their visa process. But then recently, China decided to change some of the rules, but not about the tourist visa, but it's more about the transit visa. So if you're even transiting through China to go to a different country, you still have to have a visa that approves of you transiting through China as a USA citizen. I'm not sure of other passports. Look into other passports about China, but I'm only speaking about USA citizens. So transiting through China, they made it more relaxed where you can stay in China transiting. It's still a transit visa, but they allow it for up to 10 days. Isn't that crazy? I think in the past it was only 2 or 3 days maximum, but now they extended it. Oh, if you're going to transit through China, we will allow you to stay in China for up to 10 days. Crazy, right? I think this happened last year of them making this new rule. And then not only that, they allowed like more areas of China that you can visit. So not only the strict time period of when you can stay in China, but they also restricted what areas of China you can visit. Like I think only Beijing or Shanghai, like only certain areas that you can stay in as a transit visa. So it's really restrictive, right? But then starting last year, increased to 10 days. They increased to basically most of China you can visit as a transit visa holder. So you can now visit most of China, and also there are only certain airports that allow a transit visa. So not every airport in China can give you a transit visa. So you have to look this all up. Like guys, if you plan to visit China, you have to do your research, which is what I did to make sure I could really go to China all okay. So you have to do all your research, make sure the airport you land in allows the transit visa process at that airport, and then you have to make sure you only go to the areas that they allow. But it's basically basically most of China, but still you have to make sure you're only going to the areas that's legal for you to go to. And then you have to make sure that you have to prove that you're leaving to a third country. Okay, so transit visa, right? So that means you're using China to transit to another country. So you have to also prove that you are using China to go to a different country. So for example, if your plane ticket is round trip from USA to China, it's round trip USA to China. You're not using China as a transit country, right? And so if you only have this flight, that does not allow you the transit visa. So how you can get the transit visa is that you have to be going to a different country. So you have to show in your plane ticket, you're going from USA to China, and then from China to any other country that's not USA. So you just have to prove in your plane ticket that you are obviously using China as a transit and you're going to a third country. So at the airport, at the China airport, once I landed, they asked for me, hey, do you have your plane ticket of where you're going after China? And so here is how I was able to do it. So I'm in South Korea, right? So I have to be going to so if I was going from Korea to China, then I have to be going to a third country after China. But I don't want to do that because I live in Korea. So the best way for me to bypass this is that I first have to go to a different country. So I could pick any other country that's not Korea. So I'm going from Korea to, so the countries I was considering was Japan, Hong Kong. Was I considering any other country? Any other country, but I was mainly considering Japan and Hong Kong. So I first go to any other country. And then after I land in that country, I then go to China. So I go from that country to China, and then from China, I go to Korea. So that counts as a transit visa. Do you guys get me? I hope you guys get me, but if you have questions, please ask me and I'll read the comments in 1 second. So this process I'm doing, I live in Korea, right? It's not
차징 notification.
Sorry, that's my phone. If you heard that, that's my phone telling me about the battery. So for me to be able to travel in China legally as a transit visa, this is the method I have to do. And so let me read the comments before I continue my story. Hello again. Oh, someone says I'm pretty. You're too kind. Okay, so the thing is, I have no makeup on. This is my no makeup face, but YouTube filter, I don't know what is this filter, but this filter makes me look a lot better, than how I originally looked like. But I still look the same. It's just I feel like this filter makes me look like how I would be if I just wore foundation. So if I were to put on makeup, I think this is how I would look like. So it's not totally what's the word? It's not totally fake, I guess, but still, like, thank you to this filter, I don't have to put on makeup. So just FYI, this is a filter, but this is how I would look like with makeup, I think. And so anyways, thank you for the compliment, but it's a filter. So just FYI about YouTube filter. So Barbara asked me, does me or my mom have family in China? Girl, let me tell you. So I said briefly about my background to anyone new here that wants to know about my background. So my mom is Korean and my dad is Chinese, but my dad was born in Hong Kong. So I consider him a Hong Kong person, not a Chinese person. But my dad's parents are Chinese. Like, they were born and raised in China, but in the southern part of China. And then they moved to Hong Kong and then had kids there and then moved to America. So my dad moved to America when he was 5 years old. Basically, he didn't really grow up in Hong Kong, in my opinion. He was just born there, but he was raised in America, so I consider him more American than Chinese. And so, as I just said in my story, my Chinese family immigrated to America, my grandparents being the first ones. And so, as of right now, I'm sure I have relatives in China, in Hong Kong. I'm sure I do, but I have no idea who they are and how I could get in contact with them. No idea, but I'm sure they exist because, my grandparents had siblings, uncles, aunts, and I'm sure they all still live in China or Hong Kong. But sadly, I don't know how I could ever find them. So yeah, that answers that. And so my mom, all her family is only in Korea. Okay, actually not only in Korea. She just told me recently she had relatives that moved to Japan. So she does know She has relatives in Japan, but she also doesn't know who they are or how to get in contact with them. But most of my mom's family is in Korea. And so for me, yeah, my Chinese side of my family, they're mainly in America. At least the ones that I know are in the United States, and the ones who are in China, I have no idea how I could ever talk to them or find them. And so yeah, that I hope that answers your question. So what are my favorite boy girl K-pop groups? So this person tells me I look like I listen to K-pop. If you don't mind sharing, I do not mind sharing. So if ever you want to watch my previous videos in this YouTube channel, I talk about K-pop pretty much all the time. I'm pretty sure I did. So I have been a K-pop fan ever since 2005. 2005 was my first step into K-pop universe, basically. And I thought I would be over K-pop at some point, but it's been, what, now over 20 years? Over 20 years of me liking K-pop, and I still am a big K-pop fan. So currently, my current boy groups that I like, I'm not too into girl groups, but I'm okay with some of their songs, but I can't say I'm a huge fan of a girl group or anything. So my current favorite K-pop group, boy K-pop group, they are called Monsta X. So Monsta X is a 6-member boy group, but they had a member that left Monsta X a couple years ago. His name is Wonho. So Wonho, I'm a fan of him as well, and I consider him a member of Monsta X still. So overall, Monsta X of 7 members, they are my current top K-pop group. And then recently, I think it was 2 years ago. I think so. So recently, 2 years ago, I discovered a new K-pop group, and I really like this new K-pop group. And I have yet to reveal who they are. I have yet to, like, publicly, I have yet to reveal who they are because I know it's going to cause a lot of talking after I reveal who they are. And so this current K-pop group I like, I really do like them. I can't compare if I like them more than Monsta X. It's too complicated, but I'll explain more later about it. But yeah, so I currently do really like this new K-pop group. And you know, I'm thinking I need to think of a nickname for them. I really don't know if I ever will tell you guys who they are because it's really... it's just, I don't know if I'll ever be ready to talk about them publicly. And so just know that they are a new K-pop group that I discovered 2 years ago. That's a hint of about them, right? And that's all I can say. That's all I can say. And I think it's already obvious they're a boy K-pop group. Yeah, they're a boy K-pop group that I discovered 2 years ago, and I'm still their fan even until now. So their nickname, I was thinking about it in previous times, like the next time I come on live stream, I need to think of a nickname for them. So I really like sweet stuff, aka desserts. I just really like any kind of dessert. I know they're bad for your health, but if you eat them moderately, it's okay. But in general, we should stop eating sweets. But anyways, in me trying to stop eating sweets, and I think they're just so adorable. So I decided I should probably call them by like a dessert nickname. And also, it doesn't even relate to them at all. They're a boy K-pop group. Dessert doesn't mean anything to them, So I wanted like some kind of thing that doesn't even relate to them. So I decided that one of my favorite desserts to eat is called creme brulee. Do you guys like creme brulee? It is so good. So like, okay, anyways, creme brulee. And I think that's just such a nice name to call a group, right? So the new K-pop group that I like, let's call them creme brulee, all right? So from now on, when I say creme brulee, I am not talking about eating it. I rarely could find it in Korea anyway. So the only time that I would talk about creme brulee is about this K-pop group. So I thought that would be a nice name that I could call them by. So creme brulee is this new K-pop group I like. And then maybe I have to talk about my favorite member in creme brulee. And so I was thinking, what should I call him, my favorite member in creme brulee? And so I was just thinking of another dessert that I like. And so I decided I'll call him pudding. Pudding does not relate to him at all. I just really like eating pudding. All right. So like I like the pudding that's from Japan, not the Western style pudding. So anyways, I think that's a cute name to give him. And so my new K-pop group from now on, they are called Creme Brulee, and my favorite member in the new K-pop group, I will call him Pudding from now on. All right. So glad to have that settled. So currently these two boy K-pop groups I really like, and then girl K-pop groups I just like to hear songs from them, but I have no particular favorite, but I know of them, and that's it. All right, so yeah, so that's my K-pop rant. Oh wow, okay, I have great energy like your big sister. Thank you for saying that. I am I'm quite an extrovert, as you can see, and yeah, and I'm very what's the word? I'm a good talker. I don't know if I'm good, but I am quite good at talking, and so and energy. Yeah, yeah. Anyways, thank you for the compliment. Thank you. Titanium. I don't know what that is. How long can you stay in China with the transit visa? Yes, girl. Okay. So back to the transit visa for USA citizens. I don't know for other countries. So as long as you prove that you are going to a third country, the transit visa is a sticker that they put in your passport, and it says on there up until what day that you can stay in China. And so it is exactly 10 days. And so it will say on there, yeah, when you have to leave China. But in my opinion, you should leave before the 10 days just to be safe, just to be safe. But I mean, it's already a long time to stay in China, like 5 to 8 days. That's a pretty long time for a vacation. And so I say just make sure that you prove that you're leaving China under 10 days, and then they give you the transit visa, no problem. But let me say more in detail about my China trip in 1 second, of like how exactly it was when I entered China and when I left China, so that you guys can know how exactly it happens. And so I really would like to tell you guys all that stuff. 1 second. Yawning? Oh, I don't know why this person is reacting that way, but okay. You are free to leave if you are not interested. Please do. It's all okay with me. Oh, Barbara thought it was my mom. No problem. My mom is Korean and my dad is Chinese Hong Kong. Yeah, so just remember those are my what do we call that? My ethnicity, right? Yeah, I guess so. But my nationality is United States. Yes. Okay. Lorelai says, I have no idea who it might be, but I'm excited for you. You're so cute. Yeah. So I'm really glad you guys cannot guess who the new K-pop group is. I mean, of course I want to talk about them. Of course I do. It's just gonna be really, really complicated. That's all I have to say. And so you guys could probably guess what kind of K-pop group out there would be complicated to talk about. Maybe you could already guess from that, but yeah, it's just too complicated. So for now, I still don't want to talk about them. But one day when I feel ready, maybe. But for now, I don't see it anytime soon. So just remember, they are called Creme Brulee. My nickname for them, Creme Brulee, is the new K-pop group I like, and the guy I like in there, his name is Pudding. So yeah, just remember those code names for them, and we are good to go. Lorelai says we were. Sorry. Okay. Lorelai says we were able to get really great seats to see Monsta X in Tacoma in October. Awesome. I know Monsta X, as I mentioned earlier, they're my favorite male K-pop group. They are doing a world tour right now. I think they recently did Mexico, and then soon they're gonna do United States. And so Lorelai is gonna see them in Tacoma in October with good seats. Excuse me. Happy to hear that. So I hope all you guys all around the world that you're able to see Monsta X. I hope you guys get good seats and able to get tickets. So far, it seems like ticketing has been okay. I sure hope so. But I mentioned this earlier. Now in Korea, it's so easy for me to get tickets to their concert, when for the past few years I never succeeded to get their concert tickets. So I'm not sure about their popularity these days, but overseas, I mean outside of Korea, it definitely feels like they're still very popular. And like within Korea, I don't know, they're usually fickle. I mean, there's always new K-pop groups popping up every year, every month at this point. So I think it's normal that K-pop groups' popularity will always be up and down. And so Monsta X, they were very popular for a few years, but now it's like, now it's kind of slow. But then again, they are not doing a lot of things in Korea. So if you're not super active in Korea, that will also make the Korean popularity decrease. And so that's currently what they're doing. Not that they have to do a world tour, but they don't have to do it for this long. But I mean, regardless, they are focusing more outside of Korea, and really not a lot happening in Korea except for Seonwoo Hyungwon did a comeback, but still that was a really short comeback, and then now they're off doing world tours. So yeah, it's a little, but it's okay. But regardless, Monsta X popularity, they're fine. They're fine. They are more popular than other K-pop groups out there. They are definitely perfectly fine. Don't worry about them. And so just support them when you can support them. And yeah, and they're fine. Yeah. Barbara says, that's so sneaky of me. Thank you for the compliment. Yeah, creme brulee. Yeah. I really like creme brulee. Are there any creme brulee fans out there? It is such, I mean, it's basically like a pudding, right? I just really like that kind of dessert. And so yeah, creme brulee. So tasty. And then the Japanese style pudding, it's my favorite. But I mean, other countries make pretty good pudding. I've tried flan. Flan is like the Mexican style pudding, but it's good, but the Japanese style is a lot better. But anyways, any kind of pudding is I really like it, and so I felt was very appropriate. My favorite singer in creme brulee, I'll call him Pudding. It suits him very well. Look, Lulu, I know what time it is right now for you. Do you usually not sleep early, girlfriend? But Lulu, always happy to see you. I'm gonna do my best to make this a quick update, as the title says, but I'm already 31 minutes. I will do my best. I'll do my best. Anyways, Lulu, how are you? So she says hi. Oh, did you already see them? Oh my gosh. So she said she saw Monsta X in Taipei. Get out of here, and you'll be seeing them in Toronto in Ultimate VIP. Awesome, girlfriend. You spend too much money for them. It's okay, girlfriend. Isn't it your first concert of Monsta X? It's worth it, of course. And she says, I'm sad that Wonho is just dropping random casino dates in the United States. I know. So let's talk about that in 1 second. And Lulu says, I just saw your live alert. Long time no see, girlfriend. I really expected you you guys in North America East side. I really expected you guys are asleep by now, but girlfriend, happy to see you anytime. Yeah, first concert in Canada. That's yeah, girlfriend. So technically your first time seeing Monsta X ever was in Taipei, right? Oh my gosh. Do you want to share any fun stuff about it? Yeah, feel free to leave a comment about it, but that's so exciting. Yeah, she saw them in Taipei, and then soon we'll see them in Toronto, which is where she lives. Sorry, I need to breathe. That's why I'm pausing. So Ultimate VIP, I assume it's like really close to the stage, but are there other benefits that you get? So do you get to get to meet them? Okay, so yeah, tell me anything you want to tell me. No sleep for you. What are you talking about? But hey, I'm glad I pick a weekend. So today in Korea it's Sunday, but you guys it's Saturday night, right? Great. If that works out to see you guys, good to hear. But yeah, so the reason I decided at this time to do a live stream is that I have too many things I gotta do in general for the next few weeks, in all honesty, and so I will do my best to hopefully do more live streams later, because today really needs to be a quick one. Okay, it really needs to be, and then the future ones I hopefully can spend more time talking in details about other things. And so Lulu says, it was really surreal. Too many Hyungwon fans in Taipei. Girl, really? Okay, good. I still believe Gihyun and I think Seonwoo. Seonwoo is not that popular in Korea, but he seems really popular overseas. So I want to believe Gihyun and Seonwoo are very popular overseas, but Hyungwon, is he really popular in Taipei? Good for him. And you join with them, girlfriend. And so yeah, that's good to hear. So okay. So Lulu comments anytime, but let me finish my China story. So any latecomers, I recently took a trip to China. I still can't believe it. I came back last week. So guys, it's really fresh in my mind recent, and that's why I want to talk about it with you guys before I forget. So we go to China, right? And so let me explain the transit visa, which is really most important, and then I'll talk more detail about my China trip in a future live stream. So I land in China, and it's at an airport that allows transit visa. You have to make sure that the airport you land in allows transit visas. So yeah, that's you have to look that up beforehand. And then for my plane ticket proving I'm going to a third country, I printed it out in case I have to show it to them. And they did actually ask to see a printout. I don't know if they would allow it seeing on your mobile any kind of like electronically. I wonder if they allow it, but just better safe than sorry. Print it out and you could show it to them in person. But they do not take my printout. They just see it as proof that I'm leaving to a third country, and then they gave me back the piece of paper. So that's also, I really highly recommend you should print out your plane ticket information proving that you're leaving China to a third country. So I come in through Hong Kong. So I went to Hong Kong from Korea to Hong Kong. Yeah. So, but it still counts as a transit visa. I mean, of course it does. So I'll explain that in 1 second. So I go to Hong Kong, and in Hong Kong, I was only there for 6 hours. So I was a bit hesitant of doing my plane ticket this way because I wondered, would they allow it given I only stay in Hong Kong for 6 hours and then use China as a transit? But I researched it and they said that the time doesn't matter as long as you prove you're using China as a transit. It doesn't matter the time. So I really trusted in the internet that they are correct. So I really, really looked into it, and I wanted to believe, yeah, as long as I'm just proving the 3 countries transiting, it doesn't matter the time. So I land in Hong Kong and I only stay there for 6 hours. So I'm there for 6 hours, and then my plane from Hong Kong to Shanghai. So I go to Shanghai, and so when I was checking in for this flight in Hong Kong, the Hong Kong airline clerk, so he said, oh, so why don't you have a visa to China? And I said, oh, because I'm gonna be doing the transit visa. And he said, oh, can you show me? Yeah. So first I had to talk with the Hong Kong airline that I was using first to show them this. So I show him my printout of my plane ticket. Yeah, I'm using China to go to transit to go to Korea, which is again the 3 countries: Hong Kong, China, Korea. By the way, Hong Kong is counted as a third country. I know there's like debates. Hong Kong belongs to China. No, it's its own country. And Macau counts as well as a different country from China. So just FYI on that as well. So I show to the clerk, I'm obviously going through 3 countries, but then he sees in my they see all your flight information, but he says, but you flew from Korea to Hong Kong. And I'm like, yeah, that doesn't matter. So I know that seems like, kind of what's the word? Kind of sneaky, but think about it. If I were in Hong Kong for a couple days, right? And so I'm in Hong Kong and I need to go back home. I'm going back home through China as a transit. It doesn't matter that I went from Korea to Hong Kong. That doesn't matter. So legit, the route is going through China to go back to Korea, but I'm still in the criteria of the 3 countries, and China legit is my transit country. So I'm like airport clerk, like this is correct. This is not what's the word? Like he obviously doesn't meet many people using the transit visa, right? And so he's like, yeah, because you went from Korea to Hong Kong. But I'm like, that doesn't matter. I'm using China as a transit to go to Korea, but I'm using the 3 countries. So this guy, he's like, okay, give me a few moments. And so he goes to talk to his boss. And I'm like, in all honesty, since this is my first time doing this transit visa through China, I was a little bit nervous given he's an airline staff and he doesn't know like the details about this. Like he thinks like, oh, this doesn't look like it counts as a transit visa. So I'm like a little bit nervous because I would think he's knowledgeable and has experience with it. So I'm like, now I'm a little bit nervous. And so I'm thinking, wow, does this mean I have to go back to Korea? So I was thinking of all types of scenarios if they don't allow me to go to China. So I'm like, it's okay if I have to fly back to Korea. I mean, at least I tried. But I was really thinking in my head, this really should be okay. It really should be okay. And so I was hoping for the best, but he was gone for a long time. All right. So that made me even more nervous. He was gone for a long time, checking with his bosses. Is this really gonna be okay? And so finally he comes back. And he's checking me in. He's like, okay, here's your boarding pass. Are you going to check in any baggage? Blah, blah, blah. So he's doing the whole process with me. And I'm like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. And he doesn't tell me anything. And he gives me my boarding pass. He tells me, the gate, the boarding to blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, thanks. And then I'm like, so can I go to China? Okay. And he said, yeah, you're going to be fine. So I'm like, this Hong Kong dude. I'm like, by the way, I'm talking to him only in English. Hong Kong Usually everyone in Hong Kong knows English. I do know Cantonese, but of course I'm more comfortable in English. So I'm talking to him in English the whole time, and his English is fine. And so anyways, so before leaving the counter, I'm just like, yeah, I can go to China just fine, right? And he's like, yeah, you're gonna be fine. So he's just like brushed it off. Like I think maybe here's my guess. He was probably embarrassed that he didn't know this, and so like maybe his bosses were like, how could you not know this? I don't know. Like he really just brushed it off. He's like, yeah, you're gonna be fine. And I'm just like, okay. I'm just thinking that's why he didn't bring it up to me. And like he gave me the boarding pass, so that proves I can go to China, okay, because he gives me the boarding pass, right? But I still wanted to ask to make sure, because he really was like, I don't think you can go to China, like blah blah blah. But then now he's like, yeah, you're gonna be fine. And I'm just like, okay. So anyways, so that was really funny. Okay, so anyway, so when you go to China through the country, that airline person may not be familiar with transit visas, right? And so you just gotta make sure with them, I'm using it as a transit. This is how it works. If you don't believe me, go talk to your bosses. Like it's definitely gonna be okay. All right, guys. So like don't be scared like how I was, but like yeah, sometimes the airline staff may not know about it because now that I think about it, who exactly goes through China through transit visas often, now that I think about it, right? So yeah, so just keep that in mind. Just make sure you have all your information correct, that you are leaving China within 10 days, that you're leaving to a third country, you have your airplane ticket printed out. As long as you have all that, you're gonna be fine. And just the airline staff, they can check with their bosses. They don't have to believe you, all right? Like I was really like, if you don't believe me, go ahead and like look it up. Like I said that to him. So like yeah, and so anyways, yeah. So just be aware of that. So now I'm leaving from Hong Kong to Shanghai. And so in Shanghai airport, I have the next obstacle, right? I'm like, there's always a chance something wrong will happen. Okay, there's always a chance. And so I'm always prepared of what might happen. So for now, I got approved to go to China. And so now finally I'm in China, but the immigration people in this Shanghai airport has to approve of me, right? And so here's what happened. So the airport I went to, I only speak for this specific one. So if you guys do want to go to Shanghai, so the thing is they have two major airports, but I went to one that's closest to where me and my friend Hua Hua. So guys, my Chinese friend, I give her the nickname Hua Hua. So when I say Hua Hua, it's my Chinese friend that I'm going to China with. So me and Hua Hua are meeting at this Pacific Shanghai airport, and it's called Shanghai Hongqiao Airport. I don't know the correct tones for it, but it's HONGQIAO. So Shanghai Hongqiao Airport. So at this airport, they allow the transit visa. So I made sure to look that up beforehand. So they allow the transit visa. They are the airport that can give you the transit visa. So they do. And then once I land there, I have to put in my information in this big electronic kiosk thing. So I don't know if other Chinese airports do this, but instead of like writing it on a paper, they have this electronic kiosk to put in your information. So, it's your usual information, your name, passport information, what was your previous flight, and then also saying like, where are you going to be staying at in China? So I had to put in my hotel information. And then also says what kind of visa are you going to be using? And so I had to check that I'm doing the transit visa. And so here's the thing. Technology, you can never trust it. And so when I was putting in my information, it was not allowing me to put in my flight information. I'm like, why is it not allowing it? And so like, I check, it's the correct flight number. I'm like, well, how come it's not allowing it? And so I had to wait for a staff to help me. But the thing is, there was only one staff for this entire airport. But then again, there wasn't a lot of people doing this kiosk thing. I don't know why I wasn't busy at this time. But still, he was helping other people. Like we were all having issues. Of course, we all would be. Like technology would always fail us. And so I'm waiting for him. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. But the thing is, my Mandarin my Mandarin is not bad, but for difficult things would be difficult for me to say in Mandarin Chinese. And so thankfully, this airport staff guy, his English was not bad, and so I was like, okay, I could talk to him in English, was good, thankfully. So finally, I got the staff to help me, and he was also not sure what the heck was going on, but he thankfully solved it. I'm like, thank goodness. And so he solved the issue, and then and then then after solving that issue, then I had the next issue. I could not find the city of my hotel in their drop down. It was so it was just one thing after another. But I do want to say this funny thing, because the hotel that I was gonna be in is a city called Hengdian. So I don't know if you guys know this city, but I'll talk about it later. So I'm going to the city of Hengdian, and the airport staff, he's Chinese, right? And so he knows the city Hengdian, but then he couldn't find the address either. I'm like, why? He's Chinese and he can't find it either. And so a funny thing that happened, there was a second staff. So I didn't see that staff beforehand. He just came recently, I guess. So there was a second staff in this airport, and he yells, he screams, he yells to the other staff guy. He's like, hey, do you know this ad, blah, blah, blah. He screams across the room to him. And then the other guy screams back, oh yeah, I think. So it was just really funny. Really funny. These two airport staff, are yelling, not yelling, but like, shouting at each other, trying to figure out my hotel address. And I'm just like, this is so hilarious. But anyways, eventually I think they figured it out. I'm like, and I think I also figured it out because Hengdian is the name of the city, but it's in the province of Zhejiang, something like that. So I remember that and in the address, anyways. So I'm like, hey, don't you think it should be this one, Zhejiang? And then what? We somehow figured it out. So guys, when you land in China, there's always gonna be obstacles, all right? No matter what. Even the Chinese guys didn't know how to put in my address, right? So like, always prepare for anything to happen. But thankfully it got figured out. They put in the address, and the system allowed it. And I'm like, thank goodness. And so finally we did that. And then the thing is, at the end of this electronic submission, there was a QR code, and the guy told me, take a picture of this QR code. And I'm like, okay. So I just take a picture of it. He's like, okay, and you're done. I'm like, okay. And so I'm just like thinking, what the heck is this QR code for? And so I just save it into my phone, and then I go to the immigration officer. So the officer, I show her, yeah, it's a woman that was doing it. And so I show her my passport, and then I also show her the QR code. Like, do you need this QR code? And she said, no, I don't need it. And I'm just like, oh, okay. But her English, I don't know how good was her English, but we didn't need to talk a lot. So it was just like, hand motion and just like nodding or things like that. So she's looking at my passport and looking at my flight information, and then she asked me, what visa are you going to be doing? And I said, I'm doing the transit visa. And then she said, did she talk to me in Chinese at first? I can't remember. But I look like someone that could know Chinese, right? But my passport is American, so I don't know what she could be thinking. But then she said to me in English, like, it was like okay English, not perfect, but she said to me in English, do you have your plane ticket going to your third country? And I'm like, yeah. And so I show her my plane ticket, and then she looks at it, and then it was quite a long time. And so still I was nervous, like I was prepared at any point. Is she gonna ask me more questions? Does she need to see more things for me to process the transit visa? So she was doing a lot. She was, it was like a little bit nerve-wracking. I'm just like, oh, I wonder if everything's gonna go okay. And so she was doing a lot, like looking at everything, blah, blah, blah. And then after a while of doing all that, and she didn't ask for more things from me. Oh yeah, but then I had to do the process, like take your photo and then fingerprinting. So it was, the normal process of entering into a country. So I did all that. And then she said, okay, go back there and sit down. And I'm just like, okay, so she doesn't tell me it's okay, or like, we're done. She just tells me go back there and sit down. I'm like, okay. And then yeah, but the thing is, I remember another staff member came, and she said to me in Chinese to sit down somewhere. I remember that. So yeah, my Chinese is not bad, but I mean, yeah, I do remember they were speaking more Chinese to me than English, I think. And so anyways, so they tell me to sit down there, and I'm just like, I hope everything is okay. They never really said at any moment, is everything okay? But I'm assuming it's okay, because they don't tell me to go back, to where I came from, right? And so I'm just like, okay, so I go sit down here. And then I'm thinking in my head, maybe they're putting in the visa in my passport. You know, I must have something to put in my passport, right? But I had no idea how it would look like. And so I'm just thinking, this is probably what's going on. Like, don't worry. I mean, it looks like everything is okay. So I just sit there for maybe, I think it was like 5 minutes. So it was a long time. So I sit there for a while and I'm just hoping everything is going okay. And then the staff member comes back with my passport and she said, here you go. You know, I'm pretty sure she said to me in Chinese. Yeah, she said to me in Chinese, yeah, you're all good. And I'm just like, oh, okay. So finally, finally, that was confirmation, the first confirmation that I finished everything. I completed the process um perfectly. Yeah, I completed everything perfectly. I am now allowed to travel in China. So I'm like, this is crazy. So now finally feels real. I'm finally in China, you know, and so everything is okay. And so I look into my passport. And the visa, the transit visa is a sticker. So it's a sticker they put in your passport and it says, you know, what day you land and when does this expire, which is 10 days after, 1 day after I landed. I don't know how they do the time, whatever, just you go by the time on the sticker, right? But regardless, you should leave earlier than 10 days just to be safe. And so it says, when does this expire? And it says the airport that I landed in. And so it's just a little sticker in your passport. And I'm like, awesome. Awesome. I'm finally free. And so guys, this was tiring, you know. So I still prefer doing this than doing the official tourist visa, which lasts for 10 years. But this, the flight from Korea to Hong Kong is not expensive. That, I mean, basically, I enjoyed a trip instead of paying for a visa, right? So I enjoyed a second trip before going to China. And so in Hong Kong for 6 hours, I ate the food. I saw the new terminal in Hong Kong airport. It was so cool. I'll talk about it next time. So I enjoyed a second trip, right? Instead of paying for a visa. That's totally worth it in my opinion. But I suffered a lot because the flight from Korea to Hong Kong was at 2:30 in the morning. But I had to, because I wanted to make the most of my time in China. So I had to leave 2:30 in the morning. I landed in Hong Kong at 5:30 a.m., but it's okay. I was feeling okay. All right. I was feeling loopy, but I was okay. I think I took a short nap on the plane, but I was okay. And so I landed at 5:30 a.m. and my flight to Shanghai was at 12 p.m. 12 p.m. Yeah, I'm pretty sure at 12 p.m. And so I did that on purpose because, you know, with transferring to another flight and you know the time it takes, I always like to have more than 4 hours between flights. And so this was ideal for me. I wanted to have a long time before flying to China. And so I picked the 12 p.m. flight. And so think about it. I left Korea at 2:30 a.m. and then my flight to China, right, was at 12 p.m. But then I land in China at around 3 p.m. 2:30 p.m. 2:45 p.m. But then I had to go through the immigration process, right? So I didn't come out of the airport of China until 3:30 p.m. So I traveled over 12 hours in order for me to go to China. So and yeah, and I didn't get sleep. Yeah, I think I had a short nap. I don't know. It's all a blur. So, but for sure, I didn't have sleep for 12 hours. So I suffered a lot, right? But that was worth it instead of paying for the China tourist visa. It really was. But would I do this again? I don't know. This was worth it because I've been wanting to go to China with Hua Hua for such a long time. So it was definitely worth it. And also my first time trying out this transit visa, I wanted to see how it was. So definitely for this first time was worth it. But would I do that again? It has to be a very good reason for me to go to China again. So I'm all good. I don't need to go with Hua Hua again to go to China again. We finished that bucket list of ours, right? So I honestly don't know why I would want to go to China again. So that's why I didn't want a 10-year visa either. But at least now I know it's possible for me to go to China. It's just a lot of suffering, but I'm really glad to just know it's quite easy for me. Kind of easy. It's kind of easy for me to go to China. And for you guys as well, USA citizens, excuse me, USA citizens, it's possible for you guys too, but it's just a struggle, but it's worth it more than paying for the visa. And yeah, so transit visa, completely free. Everything is free. You just have to prove you're going to a third country. Everything, don't need to pay for anything except for flying to a third country, and that's it. Okay, now, yeah, so that concludes how it was traveling to China on a transit visa. And I made sure I was gonna leave Korea. Sorry, I made sure I was gonna leave China to Korea within 10 days. And regardless, because I have stuff I need to do in Korea, regardless, I couldn't stay the maximum 10 days. So I left China after like 5-6 days, something like that. 5-6 days. And so let me explain what happened leaving China. So still, you have to be ready for anything, okay? Anything. And so I was curious how it would be leaving China, that surely it would go okay, right? But so leaving China, you also have to make sure it's an airport that allows you as well. So I can't remember the details about it, but as long as the airport allows transit visas, it surely also allows you to leave via transit visa. So just always make sure about that. So anyway, so the airport I landed in was Shanghai Hongqiao Airport, right? So also, I just wanted it to be easy for myself. I wanted to leave from the same airport as well. So I leave from the same airport as well, and surely was going to be okay. But now I talked to the immigration officer. He sees my passport. He sees, my transit visa in there, and he sees that I'm leaving, within the time frame. But then for some reason, he was taking a while. And so I'm like, why do these people need to take a long time? And but I wonder, do most people not use transit visas through China? I don't know, or maybe at this airport is not common. I don't know. So he's taking a long time, and I'm just like, it's okay, it's gonna be okay. So I'm just waiting for him, to do what he needs to do. And then he looks at me and he asks me in Chinese, do you know Chinese? I'm like, yeah, I know some Chinese. And so now we're speaking only in Chinese, Mandarin Chinese. And he asked me, where are your parents from? I'm like, so that was just so out of the blue. I didn't expect him to say that. So anyways, he asked me, where are your parents from? And I said, oh, my mom is Korean and my dad is from Hong Kong. And then he asked me, what did he ask me after that? Okay. And then okay, I feel pretty sure he asked me, where am I going? Or like, where am I going now after China? And I said, oh yeah, I'm going to Korea because that's where I live. Yeah, so I told him that I live in Korea. So I told him that. And then, and then he asked me, do I have a Chinese ID card? Like what a Chinese citizen would have. And I said, no, I don't have a Chinese ID card. And so he asked me these questions, and then he said, okay, you're okay. I'm like, huh? So I don't know what exactly for those questions, why that's important, but he said, okay, you're okay. And then he actually compliments me. He said, oh, your Chinese is not bad. I'm like, oh, thank you. So I leave China with that experience and a compliment on my Chinese ability. And then he let me go. And I'm like, okay. So I have no idea why he asked me those questions, but then again, my last name is Chinese. I don't, only a few of you guys would know my last name. Except I don't want to reveal it publicly, but my dad is Chinese, right? So my last name is Chinese, and so I wonder if that's why he had to ask about those things. So if you're not ethnically Chinese, maybe he wouldn't ask you those things. So just keep in mind, at any moment, just prepare for anything. So I'm really glad I always prepare, because I can never assume everything's gonna go by perfectly, right? Like I wanted to believe he would let me go, right? But no, anything can happen. And so I'm glad that I prepared. And so when he asked me questions, I wasn't frazzled. I was just surprised at what question he asked, but I was calm about it, and I was talking to him in okay Chinese level. And he even complimented me. So it was a very nice interaction. And, it just made me wonder, if I didn't know Chinese, that might have been a struggle, to communicate with him. But thankfully, I knew some Chinese. So it's always nice when you know the language of a different country, for real. But if you're not ethnically Chinese, surely it would go not my experience, but I just speak from my experience of like why did they ask me things like that? Maybe because asking me do I have a Chinese ID card because I'm ethnically part Chinese. So so I just wonder if maybe that was a factor for whatever reason to not make me leave the country, or if I had to show something, but thankfully it was okay. So that is my total experience of how it was doing the transit visa through China. So if you guys have any questions, ask away, or you could DM me, of course, anytime. But it was all a great experience, and I'm really glad to share the experience to anyone out there who's a USA citizen. I don't know about other countries, but if you're a USA citizen, that you can go through China on a transit visa just fine. Just always prepare for unexpected things, but it will go just fine as long as you have the proper things to go through China all legally. Yes. And by the way, when I was in China, going about the tourism and things like that, because they track you. Of course they do. It's China. Okay, so they're tracking me, right? And so when you check into your China hotel, the China staff, they check to make sure that you have a legal visa. Like, they also make sure, hey, we want they check on every tourist coming into China, even though obviously you must be okay because you're in China, but they still check to make sure you have a legal visa. And so at each hotel that I went to, they didn't know what was my visa because I don't have the typical tourist visa. So I had to show to them, oh, it's this sticker here, this transit visa. And so yeah, they obviously don't see many customers with transit visa, so I always have to show it to them. I do have a visa. It's this one, the transit visa. So you have to, always make sure about that with the hotel, and then the hotel as well. They have to like kind of report you. So like they have to do like this paperwork saying like, oh, this person here is checked into this hotel. Like, it's telling the Chinese government this is where she is. Like, she's not doing anything fishy. So basically, the whole time you're in China, I felt like everything I was doing was being watched, which I totally understand. Okay, they want to make sure I'm not doing any funny business. I'm only here touring, and like, there's no reason to deport me, right? And so it was always in the back of my mind. I want to make sure I do everything correctly, so there's no reason for them to deport me, right? And so just always be careful. All right, so when traveling in China, it's nice, but it's not totally freedom, right? And so just make sure you're doing everything correctly. Don't get in trouble with Chinese government, and you can be all okay. All right, so yeah, always have that in mind. All right, and so that concludes everything about the transit visa. Now, what did I do in China? That will be a live stream for next time of my whole China trip, and me and my friend Hua Hua. What did we do? It was a great time, and so we will talk about that next time. Okay. So Lulu says it was really surreal. Too many. Sorry, I already read that. Sorry. So Lulu says ultimate. You're in the 4th row. Whoa. And includes a group photo, a sound check, post bye-bye, and early entry. That's worth it. That's worth it. And you have to frame that photo. All right. But sound check is going to be fun. And you get to say bye to them. Good. I like it. Awesome. Lulu says you were in Hong Kong, Shenzhen, Osaka, Tokyo. Is it pronounced Kaohsiung? Kaohsiung? I'm not sure. And Taipei. Girl, your connecting flight home, you flew Taipei to Seoul and then Seoul to Toronto. Wow. Girlfriend, I thought I went through a lot going through China, but never mind, you went through more than me. But why did you go to Shenzhen? Is there a reason? But your Canadian passport, I don't believe you had to go through something like me. You were able to go through China just fine, right? But why were you even why did you even go? Because then you went to Tokyo. Yeah, and then went to okay, yeah. But you took the train from Hong Kong to Shenzhen. So I considered taking that train as well, Lulu. So even with the transit visa through China, they allow it even via train. And so that train station in Shenzhen, it allows transit visa as well. So I did consider that. I did. But me and my friend Hua Hua, we wanted to go to Shanghai and Hengdian, and so sadly I couldn't explore southern China, but I explored Hong Kong. I was fine. I mean, only Hong Kong airport, but I was fine. Like we couldn't see more places, but I really wanted to see southern China because my family's from southern China. But it's okay. So I had to give that up, and so we only traveled to two cities, which was Shanghai and Hengdian. Yeah. So that's why So that's why I decided to take a flight from Hong Kong to Shanghai. Um, yeah. So I went to Shanghai, and she said, nice. It was a cool city. It is a cool city. Yeah. I only stayed in Shanghai for one night technically, but I'll explain that future live stream. She said it's a cool city. You were there for a long time. You were there a long time ago when your aunt had an apartment there. That's so cool. That's so cool. But she no longer lives in Shanghai, I assume. Is she in Canada with you or something? Or is she in Taiwan? Okay, but that's cool. I thought all your family was only in Taiwan. Okay, but Lulu, share as much as you want. And then Lulu says, I think people would normally fly Hong Kong to Shanghai. Yeah. Did you get a cheap fare? Yeah. I mean. Okay. Here's the thing. So me and my friend Hua Hua, we booked our flights one day before flying because we're crazy. All right. So so that was a factor for me too. Like if the plane ticket was gonna be way too expensive, then I told Hua Hua I'm not gonna go if it's too expensive. So we were deciding, what day should we go because there's only a certain period that we can go to China. Me and her both, like only a certain time period. So I'm looking at plane tickets, seeing how it's looking amongst all airlines, amongst all days, seeing what looks best. And so as I was looking at all the plane tickets, Korea to Hong Kong, Hong Kong to Shanghai, and then from Shanghai to Korea, I had to take 3 different airlines. Yeah, I took 3 different airlines, but all prices was not bad. In my opinion, was not bad. It was one day before I flew. Um, and I think because it was end of May, so we left end of May, and I think that's not peak season. I think into June is more peak season. So I think we got really lucky that it wasn't peak season. And also one day beforehand and the flight is not sold out. That's saying a lot as well. So it was really not peak season. And so so overall, I felt how much I paid for. I'm not going to reveal how much I paid for, but overall, I felt was worth it. Was not super expensive. I basically can imagine, letting you guys know how much it costs. I can imagine that how much I paid for these plane tickets is like the cost of a concert ticket, in all honesty. Like maybe 2 concert tickets. Let's put it that way. And I don't know what you guys know how much is concert tickets, so everyone has their own amount, but I think how much I paid for is it costs like 2 concert tickets, and I'm okay that I can give up 2 concerts this year, so I took it as like that kind of trade-off, and so I was very okay with that. And again, this is a bucket list of me to go to China with my friend, and I'm just so glad finally we did it. And even more meaningful, we did it in the year of the horse. We're both me and my friend Hua Hua, we're both the year of the horse. So I felt that was so meaningful that finally we do it in our zodiac year. So it's all worth it. And yeah, I have to give up some concerts this year, but that's okay. But maybe, if I save up enough money, I can still go to concerts, but it's not important for me to go to concerts anymore. It's okay. Okay. And then Lulu says, total drama for nothing. Oh my gosh. I think she's talking about the Hong Kong airline staff. Yeah. He was, I don't think he was too old. I think he was maybe a few years younger than me. So maybe, he just wasn't aware of things, and I'm just like, it's okay, now now that guy knows for any future customers he gets that has a transit visa. Now he knows, so it's okay. And just in the end, everything worked out. Just hiccups along the way, but it all worked out is most important. Long time no see, Ramya. Is that how you pronounce your name? I forgot how to pronounce your name. Ramya, long time no see. How are you? Barbara says, wow, it's so complicated. I know, but I still say it's worth it compared to having to pay for the tourist visa. Yeah. I think how much I paid for plane tickets is how much I would have paid for that visa, in my opinion. So so I feel like it's like more worth it. I get to enjoy a trip to Hong Kong instead of paying for a visa that I'm rarely gonna use, so think of it that way as well. Ramya says, I thought you stopped doing these. Girl, I thought, technically, I'm never gonna stop, okay? My YouTube channel, I never close it down, all right? But it's just 2025 was too crazy. I really had no time to update you guys in 2025. It was really, really, really too crazy. So that's brief summary of what happened to me. But 2026 feels a lot better, and I went not I mean not I mean so 2026 so far is like pretty exciting. Like I just went to China, which I didn't think would be able to happen, but it happened. And so that's definitely a highlight for me this year. I went to China, but I can't remember if I told you guys, but back in February, end of February, this year, I went to Singapore and Malaysia. Did I tell you guys? I can't remember, but hey, I'll update you guys next time. All my travel that I've done so far is only these countries, okay? So I will save that for a live stream next time of what I've been going through this year. But China still was the highlight for me. Hi again. And okay, so this person says, you still talking? I swear nobody can. Oh my gosh. You can leave. I thought you were nice, but you're, yeah, you can leave. So usually my live streams is talking. Yeah. So if you're not interested, please go. Yeah. And then don't need to be, don't need to be so, okay. Lulu says, when she was in China, when she was in the China border, going in and leaving, both border staff got, they got angry at you for not writing your Chinese name? Is it because your passport is Pinyin? Is that why? Ooh, but you're Canadian, and so it shows they're in English. It's technically not Chinese because it's not that's okay. That's okay. If you don't meet nice staff, that's unfortunate. Thankfully for me, my staff, they were all cordial with me. I can't say they were nice, but I mean, that staff guy, complimented on my Chinese skills. I mean, that was he didn't have to say that, but I was very, very like, oh, thank you for the compliment right before I leave China. So it gave me what's the word? Good self-esteem. So but they didn't have to do that. But I think Chinese people are usually kind of mean. I think they usually are. So don't take too much offense. I'm sure Lulu's used to it, but to other people, if you're not used to Chinese culture or Chinese people in general, they're usually like not super nice. And so just always prepare for that. So my experience is definitely not normal. They were quite okay with me and quite cordial with me. But then again, I look Chinese, so maybe if that's a factor, but we don't know. But then again, Lulu is Chinese, and they were quite mean to her. I don't know. But then again, yeah. Don't worry. So Lulu, so going through Chinese border, were you okay? I think Canadian passport is easy, if I remember correctly. And then she says, I told them I can't read or write Chinese, which is understandable. Many people are like you. My dad is Chinese. He can't read or write Chinese either. So and then told them in Mandarin, and then and then they wrote it for you. Okay, but you can speak Mandarin fluently, I assume, right? Yeah. My dad speaks Cantonese fluently, but he cannot read or write either. Yeah. So they were mean to you, but surely they understand. Oh, okay, you don't know how to read and write Chinese, so hopefully they were nice to you afterwards, right? Yeah. So by the way, I could read and write Chinese, but it's not. What's the word? So background about my Chinese ability. So I learned Chinese first time was when I was 5 years old. So I went to a Chinese immersion school. So from 5 years old to 14 years old. So that's isn't that 9 years? Yeah. So 9 years I was in a Chinese immersion school. So I learned Chinese pretty much every day. And so at that age, I was really fluent in Chinese, but I was more fluent in Cantonese than Mandarin. Mandarin, I only learned for 3 years in middle school, still at the same Chinese immersion school. So my Mandarin is quite shaky, but overall, I learned to read and write Chinese for 9 years. And so that's why I'm pretty okay at it. But after leaving my Chinese immersion school at 14 years old, I never practiced Chinese again. So sadly, that if you don't practice it, you lose it, But since I learned it at such a young age, it's still in there, so it's still in there. And so I don't learn Chinese again, but then I wanted to learn Korean. So starting at the age of 18 was when I started learning Korean. And so ever since 18, I've only been studying Korean and then immersed in Korean. And then I moved to Korea. And so So pretty much I know more Korean than Chinese now. And so my Korean ability is better than my Chinese ability. And so going to China and like, practicing my Chinese, it's just it's super basic, but like if I get like I always am reminded of like, oh yeah, that's the word, or like, oh yeah, now I remember that. So I'm always reminded of new things. So it's in there, so the Chinese knowledge is in there. So I just need to practice it more. If I practice it every single day, if I live in China, but I'm not going to move to China, but if I were to be immersed in Chinese every single day, I'm sure my Chinese knowledge would get better. And yeah, but that's it's not important. I live in Korea, and so it's still more important. I'm better at Korean, and so yeah, so it's all good. But it is nice knowing that my Chinese ability is still in me, even though I haven't practiced it since I was 14 years old, right? So yeah, so that's why my self-esteem was nice when he complimented my Chinese ability. I'm like, thanks. Okay, moving on. Guys, we have to go soon, okay? Because my battery is losing juice, and so we gotta go. We gotta go. Okay, did you? Yes, Lulu. Okay, you know what? I do have a charger here for my phone. One second. So Lulu asked me here, did you set up Alipay or WeChat Pay? So my friend Hua Hua, she's a native Chinese, and so she was preparing me things that I must download or have before going to China. And so she told me you have to have Alipay. So should I explain it here? Okay. So Alipay is an app, and she tells me everything in China you can pay with Alipay, and I'm like, what? so I'm like, so I don't need cash. Like I never need to use cash in China. She's like, nope, everyone uses Alipay. I'm like, so that's crazy. All right, so I'm glad they're so what's the word? They're so technologically advanced, right? Because in Korea, everywhere can take card. Almost everywhere can take card. You rarely need to use cash in Korea, but sometimes like some stalls or shops like they prefer cash. It's very, very rare, but usually anywhere in Korea can take card, but it's not like an app. There's no such thing as that. Like I mean, but you could pay with apps, but in general, it's not like how in China where everyone uses an app to pay things, right? And so that was just really surprising to me. So setting up Alipay as a USA citizen. So here's the thing. So if you're a Chinese citizen, of course, it's easy for you to set up an Alipay account. But I looked up instructions on how to set up an Alipay account. And so as I was going through it, excuse me, as I was going through it, I wasn't sure if I should put in my Korean information or my USA information. So that was a little bit tricky for me, but the thing is I wanted to put in my USA credit card to use an Alipay. So I decided, maybe it's best I should put in my USA information. So I had to put in a USA phone number. Did I put in USA address? I can't remember, but for sure I put in USA phone number, hoping that would be okay. And so as I was going through it, then they asked for passport verification, and my passport is USA. So that made me think if I did do the Korean way, it would have asked me for a Korean passport, which of course I don't have. So that actually worked out that I do everything USA. And so with the USA phone number, they had to text me a code verifying my USA phone number, which I was able to. I have a way to do it. And so I was able to verify my USA phone number, and then they verify my passport and my identity. So the thing is, it was a little bit confusing. So if you want my tips on it, let's talk about that next time. And so it was confusing, but I thankfully figured it out. And so after figuring it out, they approve of my verification, my identity. They approve of everything, and I'm just like, great. So that was really lucky, in my opinion. Like if I wasn't able to set up Alipay as a USA citizen, yeah, I would have struggled a lot in China to pay for things. But thankfully, yeah, I figured out how to use Alipay all okay. And so yeah, if you want my tips on it, we could talk about that next time. But is there anyone here who's gonna go to China soon? don't think so, right? But if you guys really do want to know, I have lots of tips I could tell you guys of what you need to prepare before going to China. And so yeah, so my Alipay is still in my phone. I don't think I'm going to go to China again anytime soon. But given I went through so much to set it up and verify my identity, I don't want to delete it. But the thing is, it's a huge app and it takes a lot of memory. But it's okay. And so for now, yeah, I still keep Alipay in my phone app, and just, yeah, don't delete it. Just why, who knows, maybe I will go to China soon again. But anyways, yeah, so just keep that in mind. Yeah, it's a huge date, it takes up a lot of memory, but yeah, you need Alipay to pay for things in China. So there were some stores that could take card, like they have the machine that can take card, and of course they most likely could take cash, but Alipay everywhere can take Alipay, and it's so easy to pay on Alipay. I was like, wow, that's crazy. So very, very convenient. Yeah, you need to have Alipay. It will make it so much easier traveling through China. And another thing, you can use Alipay to use as subway fare. Oh my gosh, so you can do you can even use it to call a taxi, which I didn't do, but yeah, using Alipay to be able to pay for the subway fare. Oh, it's really so convenient. So whoever is the CEO of Alipay must be a billionaire. And so yeah, it's really convenient, Alipay, to use in China. But yeah, I did not set up WeChat Pay since I already had Alipay. I didn't want to try another app. So Alipay was just fine for me. I didn't do any WeChat thing. International travel is not for the faint of heart. You are correct, Lou. You are correct. It is not for the faint of heart. But I see so many senior citizens traveling, and I'm just like, they must be really strong at that age to be able to travel, So yeah, no matter what age, yeah, but definitely you got to be mentally strong, physically strong. Traveling still overall, yeah, it takes a lot out of you. Lou says, guess the border agent wanted to confirm that you were not a Hong Kong resident. Maybe he wanted to confirm that, yeah. And my multi-country heritage, Korean, Hong Kong, USA, does get all those questions asked. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. So I guess he's wondering, why am I going to Korea? And yeah, he wants to know my background, and do I have a legal ID? And so yeah. Now that I think about it, I think that's why he was asking me all that, just to make sure I'm not doing anything illegal, right? Yeah. And also, yeah, I'm American, so yeah, I think that makes sense. Yeah. So just, yeah, always prepare for things like this. Always prepare. Yeah. You cannot buy a train ticket without your ID. That was wild. Yeah. So I did take trains in China, and I had to use my passport as like the ticket of taking the train. And so my friend who has a Chinese ID, she uses her Chinese ID as like her ticket. And so I think that is so convenient. You could save paper, and like you don't need a physical ticket, and it's just, it's just your ID, yeah. So that's also like more safe as well, right? And so I totally approve of it. But yeah, I just can't help but think like they are totally tracking me, right? Like using my passport, like they know when I'm riding a train, they know where I'm going, they know when I check into a hotel, right? And so yeah, but it really is convenient. And so I don't think Korea would ever do something like that. I mean, Korea is a small country, way smaller than China, right? And so I think that makes sense in China that they would do that. But yeah, they do a lot of things where it requires ID. And so if you're not a Chinese citizen, you have to use your passport to do these things. And also buying the ticket with using your passport, yeah, it was a bit complicated, but thankfully my friend Hua really helped me a lot through it. So kudos to her. She really helped make my China trip really smoothly, because she's Chinese, and so I'm really thankful for her, and that's why I wanted to come to China with her. But she taught me all these things, and so she thinks that I could go to China alone and I'll be okay. And I'm like, yeah, maybe because of all the things I got to learn from her. But I don't recommend going to China alone. I have my thoughts about it, and we could talk about that next time. Your nephew, so Lulu's nephew and his wife live in Foshan. I never heard of that. Where is that? Is it north, central, or south? So they live in Foshan, and so you got to hang out with them for 3 days. That's so cool. I'm glad to hear that. That's so cool. Though. When were you in China? Were you just in China like 1 month before me or something? If only we could have met, but it's okay. No, there's no way we could have met. But I mean, that's just really cool, Anyways, She sold her Shanghai apartment and moved back to Taiwan. Got you. Very cool. Yeah. Yeah, I flew 3 different airlines. Yeah. And so did I just? Yeah. So did I just fly with a carry-on? Okay. So Lulu flew Eva Air and then Air Canada. So only those 2 airlines. Got it. But you went to many cities. Yeah. It was easier that way because you got 2 check-in luggage with your airfare. Awesome. So here was my situation, is that regardless, I only wanted a carry-on when going from Korea, Hong Kong to Shanghai, because I know check-in bags, you have to wait a long time to get your bags, right? So for me, because I wanted us to quickly get to our Hengdian hotel quickly, so I didn't want to check in luggage and just quickly get out of the airport so we could quickly go to our hotel, because from Shanghai to Hengdian it takes like 2.5 hours by train, and this is the fast moving train. 2.5 hours. Yeah. So we had to quickly bolt out of there and make it to our hotel at a decent time, right? Because I came out of the airport at 3:30 p.m. So that was originally my plan. I wanted to have only a carry-on. And so now, coincidentally, my flight from Korea to Hong Kong did not allow me check-in bag. And I'm like, perfectly fine. But it was a budget airline, and so they charged me a little bit for a carry-on bag, just a little bit. But the fare in general, it was still worth it compared to other airlines that flew from Korea to Hong Kong. So I felt it was worth it. I paid a little bit for a carry-on bag. And so I went to Hong Kong that way. Now, from Hong Kong to Shanghai, I was allowed a check-in bag. But here's the thing. I didn't do that on purpose. So they were the cheapest fare from Hong Kong to Shanghai, and the fare includes a check-in bag. So I'm like, it's a bit unfortunate I couldn't take advantage of it. But regardless, I did not want to check in a bag so I could quickly leave Shanghai airport quickly. So, that's unfortunate, but it's okay. So, yeah, but seriously, they were the cheapest fare from Hong Kong to Shanghai. And then from Shanghai to Korea, this airline was not the cheapest, but it was overall the best time, the best airport location, and I felt compared to the cheaper airlines, it was not better for being cheaper, if you guys get me. So I had to really this was the most difficult flight for me to choose. So I had to really compare everything and which one was worth it. And so this was my most expensive plane ticket as well. So I had to make sure was it all okay. And so I decided on this airline, and they included one or two check-in bags. And coincidentally, I actually needed to check in a bag for this flight. And so I'm like, it worked out. So I'm really glad, because from the beginning, I didn't think I would ever need to check in a bag. But thankfully, from Shanghai to Korea, I actually did need to check in the bag. So I'm glad it allowed me. And so I'm glad I took advantage of that, given this airfare was most expensive, and it was all good. But I had to wait a long time to get my bag. That's why I hate check-in bag. But I needed to check in a bag. So it all worked out. Did I answer your question? Okay, I hope so. Okay, let's go. Yeah, girl, you love Alipay, girl. Alipay, that guy must be a multi-billionaire. Like, it's a really, really, really good. And the thing is, I struggled a little bit verifying my identity. So I did. So in Alipay, they sent me a survey. Like, how did you think of your Alipay experience? And so I decided to tell them in that survey, the verification process, it wasn't very clear in English. And so I hope you guys can make it more easy in English. So I told that to them in the survey, and I wonder, would they listen to me? So aside from not being clear about the verification process, because I only saw it in English, yeah, other than that, Alipay is a really good app, and I totally understand why everyone in China uses it. It makes sense. And so now I'm one of the people that has Alipay too. So yeah, I'm what's the word? I give them my, even though I technically didn't pay towards anything of Alipay, but still using their app, they get, profit from it, right? And so yeah, I contribute to them, to their multi-billion-dollar business. But yeah, you have to have it when traveling in China. You have to have it. Right? They are tracking me for sure, right? And so that's always in the back of my mind. Like, I understand you have to track me, but it's also like just kind of daunting, just kind of daunting. Like they know everything that you're doing, right? And also maybe on Alipay they're tracking me too, right? And so yeah, but that's China for you. So I don't know how I'd feel, being living in China, but that's just the way China is, just and the citizens there, of course, are used to it, and so yeah, but just fascinates me. Yeah. Okay, Foshan is north of Shenzhen. Okay. And you went March 23 to 25. Okay. Sadly, I went to China 2 months after you, but that's okay. That's okay. But that's cool. They're in southern China. Very cool. Very cool. Cool. Yeah, I really do want to take a trip through southern China. I don't know. The thing is, I don't want to go alone, but I don't know if my friend Hua Hua would want to come with me. I don't know, but again, it has to be in good circumstances. Can we both go at the same time? Because we have our own lives. So yeah, who knows? Who knows? But again, do I want to suffer through that third country transit visa again? It really has to be something really big for me to go to China again. So this was totally worth it. This was totally worth it. First time traveling in China as an adult. So the last time I traveled in China, I was 13, 14 years old, and it was for like a school field trip. I know. But yeah, it was my school was really fancy. And so we went to China as like a school field trip when I was 13, 14 years old. We went to Beijing, Tianjin, I think so, Tianjin and Guangzhou. We went somewhere in Guangzhou. I'm sure we did. And then we also went to Hong Kong and then flew back to USA. Yeah. I very, very lucky as a 13, 14-year-old. I got to do that kind of trip. But I don't have strong memory of that China trip. I just remembered it was good. That's all I remember. But yeah, but sadly, I don't have strong memories of it. And so anyways, I never traveled in China again after 13, 14 years old. And so now here I am, mid-30s, finally traveling through China again. But of course, it's changed a lot, technology and, Alipay is everywhere. So yes, it was really cool to see this is how China is now and to explore it with my Chinese friend and just, yeah, it was just really cool. So it was so worth it. And again, I don't know if I would go again, but who knows? Okay. Peach Airline would have charged you $85 for a check-in bag. Is that what you're telling? No. Yeah. No, thank you. Yeah. So you always have to be careful about these airlines. Like they're cheap airfare, but they charge you a lot for baggage. But like, yeah, that's what I want, a cheap airfare, and I don't need check-in baggage. So that's what I feel those airlines are meant for. So yeah. So sometimes it'll be more worth it for a more expensive airfare, but they have free check-in bags, but in general it's like more worth it, right? And so yeah, you just gotta always do your research on that. Yeah. And then okay, so when you landed in Incheon, South Korea, your gate was in the 200s. Yeah, I know where that is. And so you had to go through security. Yeah. So you had to go through security. 2 monorail trains, that's correct. And to get to your Air Canada flight in gate 16. Yeah. Incheon is huge. Yeah. Incheon Airport, huge. It has 2 terminals. You have to take a monorail train if you have to. Yeah, girlfriend. So yeah, but I'm so glad, thankfully, you had enough time to catch your flight. Surely, that's why I always say you need to have at least 4 hours between flights. Just, you may never know, right? And yeah, so good job on you. And yeah, I hope you had fun going around Incheon Airport. It's huge. Yeah, it's huge and it's really pretty. Yeah. Oh, you flew Asiana from Taipei to Seoul. Very cool. They have free check-in bags, if I remember correctly, right? Yeah. But I'm always confused about Asiana. I thought they got taken over by Korean Air, but are they still able to work as Asiana? I don't know. I'm always confused about them. Shenzhen is such a fancy city, but with a Hawaiian vibe. Really? You would definitely go again? Really? Okay, so I should go. Okay, yeah. I'm really curious about southern China. So yeah, so you could take a train from Hong Kong to Shenzhen, and I could do transit visa there. So yeah, so yeah, I'm very curious about Shenzhen, and if maybe I could stop by Foshan, I don't know, Foshan, who knows? But the thing is, I'm also curious to go visit a city called Guangxi. There's a reason, and I'll tell you in 1 second. Okay. But yeah, Guangxi, and then I wonder if it's possible for me to visit like the hometown of my grandparents, but I hear it's like very countryside, so I don't know if I should visit a countryside in China, but that's why I don't want to go alone, right? So so we'll see, but it definitely has to be a big reason for me to go visit China again. Like, yeah, so who knows? Okay, so this quick update has now been an hour and 30 minutes. So let's wrap this up. So I just wanted to quickly update that I recently went to China and it was awesome. And I will tell you guys more about it in a future live stream when I have a lot of time. And then another update to tell you guys. I'm moving to a new house. Oh my goodness. So my current house here that you guys have been seeing me in, I've been living here for quite a while now, and I expected to keep living here. I don't have big complaints about this place, and my landlord is okay. And so overall, I always felt like was okay, but recently, so after I came back from China, this all happened after I came back from China. So recently an issue happened, and it was very disappointing to see this issue happen. And so I had to talk to my mom about it, and my mom is like, we should move. And I'm like, Mom, let's not jump to a big decision so quickly. But my mom is like, we should move. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, the issue that happened, she was like, no, we should move. So the thing is, it's not that easy to move to a new place in Korea. So first we have to make sure a place is available, and we have to make sure the place is good, and like, is the rent decent? I don't want to pay more if it's a smaller place. And then also, I have a lease contract with this place, and so it is gonna expire soon. And so I'm like, well, maybe it's good timing, maybe. But I'm like, Mom, let's calm down. Let's calm down. And so first, we go see some real estate agents nearby, asking them, oh, is there any room available? Who knows, right? And so it felt like destiny. It felt like destiny. A room just opened yesterday when we contacted them. And so it's like, hey, this room just opened yesterday. It's nearby, and it's pretty good. And also the landlord, it seems like it's a good one as well. You have to make sure the landlord is always good. And so, but I just have to take their word for it that the landlord is good. My current landlord here, we have some issues with her. And so so I did have to ask them, oh, is this landlord okay? And they said, yeah, she's really nice. I'm like, okay, I'll take your word for it. So one thing led to another. And it's like, okay, we're gonna be moving. And I'm like, I can't believe it. This place, it's really close. I can't tell you guys details about my living situation, right? But it's really close to here. And I'm just like, and yeah, and it's gonna, it felt like it was meant to be. And so I just really crazy. It just opened up yesterday, and then now we're taking it. And like such good timing, we take it before someone else took it, right? For sure someone else would have taken it, if we didn't get it in time. And so it just felt like destiny. It felt like destiny. So I'm like, okay, after being in this house for so long, it's time for a new change this year. So 2026 is going crazy. Okay, so I'm moving to a new house. It's not gonna happen super quickly, even though we made the deal really quickly. But because my lease contract, and then when that house contract ends, like we just have to match it up. But the timing will work out. And so for now, I have to focus on I have to get rid of lots of stuff in my house, and and just clean a lot, and just it's a lot I have to deal with, but I do have enough time that I think I can accomplish it. But it's still a lot. And so guys, yeah, so I'm moving to a new house. And so when I'm in the new house, I'm not gonna tour you of the new house, but I mean, I'll be like, hey guys, I'm in the new house now, and yeah, it's really, I'll tell you guys how it was, and just we'll have a housewarming party. We should, yeah, let's have a housewarming party. Yeah, so that's the next update I need to tell you guys. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So So yeah, I see something in the comments that's like, I don't know. But anyways, if you guys see a comment that's like not that's spam or it's not good, please like report it. Like I can't see here. So yeah, report any bad comments, please. I trust you guys. Okay. So Lulu, the last comment where I stopped, she said you get a 10-day visa when you cross the border from Hong Kong without flying to another country. No. So for a USA citizen, I have to fly to another country. So I explained it all earlier. Maybe Lulu didn't catch that. But as a USA citizen, I have to fly to a third country. But it's okay. It's okay. I can make it work because I live in Korea. So don't worry about that. So the next time if I do want to take a trip to China, I have to do that same route again. But it's okay. It's okay. I can do it. Yeah. And also, maybe next time I want to go from Japan. So Japan to China, that would still count. Who knows? Maybe I want to do something in Japan. But definitely flying from Hong Kong would be easiest, going to China, right? But we'll see. We'll see if I want to go to China again. We don't know yet. Okay. Anyways. I know. So she's saying, am I in the same part of Seoul or a different part of the city? So the most that I can say without revealing, personal information, it's close by here. So where I currently live right now, it's close by here. That's it. Okay. So it's gonna be an easy move. It's not super far away. It's close by here. Yeah. And then okay, you were gonna ask me if I was gonna be in the same place and go. Yeah, thanks guys. Thanks for the congrats. It was really lucky. Really lucky. I mean, the issue I have with this place, it's not a big deal. I don't have to move, but my mom really wants to move. So yeah, but if it worked out to move to a new place, I'm fine with it. But thankfully, it did work out. So there we go. We're moving. Yeah, we're moving. Lulu says, "Are you doing what is? Oh, do you know those words? Okay, what is it or chunse? Okay. So I'm shocked that you know those things. So to anyone who doesn't know, chunse is basically paying a big amount towards the landlord, and you never have to pay rent. But it's a huge amount. So many people like that because you get that money back. So when you move out, you get that money back. So you technically don't lose money and you don't have to pay a monthly rent. So many people like that. Now, the thing is, it's a huge amount of money. And I would love to do jeonse, but I sadly do not have that much money that I could do jeonse. So that's why I cannot do it. But the thing is, I hear these days landlords don't like to do jeonse anymore. Yeah, I've been hearing that. So they usually prefer 월세 because you get monthly payments, right? And so they usually would want 월세 anyway. But for me, my only option is 월세, which means it's a monthly rent. So that's what I can do. Yeah, that's the only option I can do when living in Korea. Yeah. But my mom has said she wants to buy a house here. She wants to buy a house and then she can charge someone rent, or she could charge me rent, so she wants to buy a house, but of course it's very expensive to buy it. So like jeonse is already really expensive, right? Which is only paying towards the landlord to live there. But buying a house is way more expensive, of course, right? So but my mom has that desire. She wants to buy a house and she wants to charge people a monthly rent. So yeah, so we'll see if ever that happens. We get to own our own house, but not anytime soon, as far as I can see. Yeah. Lulu says real estate can always happen through word of mouth for sure. And then she says, are you doing a Monster X inventory sale? Girl, I have so many Monster X stuff that I bought as stock, as my K shopper. It was all stock at first that I thought, many people would ask me later that they want to buy it. But yeah, after a while, yeah, people don't need it anymore. Or maybe some people out there still want it, but I have so much stuff here I need to sell. And I keep saying this for like years now. If you guys remember, I've been saying it for years. I have to sell the stuff in my house, but life is always difficult, So yeah, but now that I'm moving to a new house, I really need to do it. So wish me luck, guys. I need to get rid of lots of stuff in my house before moving. It would just, even though I'm moving close by, but still, the less stuff, the better, right? So just wish me luck, guys. Wish me luck. Yeah. So hopefully you see me more active on my K-shop or like, hey guys, you guys gotta buy this stuff, please just buy it. And like I'll try to market as cheap as possible, but I don't want to lose money from it, you know. So I'll market as cheap as possible, but I'm not gonna lose money from it, you know. So just keep that in mind about the prices when I post about them. Yeah, just wish me luck. Okay, wish me luck. I need to do it. Yeah, I also have a lot of 1.0. I have a lot of 1.0 stock as well. I hope you guys 1.0 lovers like take that from me. Not only them too. I know I have, what other groups are ATEEZ? I have ATEEZ. Stray Kids. I'm not sure, but maybe. But I know for sure I have extra ATEEZ stuff. I am his own merch stuff. I have extra of those. So yeah, guys, buy my stuff, please. Okay, so yeah, yeah, wish me luck on that. Thank you, Lou. She says she's reporting and blocking bad comments. Thank you, Lou, for doing that. And then Lou says, your Canadian passport allows you to do the 10-day visa thing. I'm so jealous. Yeah, China likes Canada, which is great. Yeah, so you can do it, but no, USA says, and there's other countries that's the same thing as me, but I can't remember what were they, but USA, yeah, you know, China and USA. I mean, I don't know, are the countries getting along these days? I don't know, but yeah, but just sadly, yeah. But at least they have more leniency on this transit visa compared to a couple of years ago. So I take it for what it is, and good timing when me and my friend want to go to China. So I take it for what it is, and I took advantage of it, and I succeeded perfectly. No trouble with Chinese government. I'm still so proud of myself. So yeah, so guys, come ask me for tips. If you guys are USA citizen wanting to use transit visa in China, I got you. I'm like an expert now. Mom knows best. Yeah, I guess so. Okay. And then Lulu says, take the inventory and post it. I have to do it ASAP. Yeah. This will be the motivation to clear the stock. Yes, girlfriend. All things happen for a reason. I really need to get rid of this stock, please. And I really hope there's people out there that want it, because these are like really old stuff. I have old Seasons greetings too, and I'm like, do people still want them? So, but I'll try to price them as cheap as possible, but not losing money from it. So. Just yeah, please, I hope, yeah, wish me luck, guys. Yeah, and I'll promote it as much as I can as well. Yeah. Can't wait to read the list. Okay, girlfriend. Okay, and yeah, I hope you want to take some of my stuff too, girlfriend. All right, so I have one more update. All right, so yeah, so I talked about I went to China. I'm moving soon. And the final update, I gotta tell you guys. So do you remember for my birthday live stream, anyone who joined in or saw replays of it, remember I'm really into Chinese dramas. Remember that? So I got into Chinese dramas end of March, this past end of March. And I just thought it was such good timing when my friend, but me and Hua Hua, my Chinese friend, me and Hua Hua, she's the one that's like making me like it more. All right. So she's kind of like I started it, like I wanted to watch the Chinese dramas, but she is like an expert on Chinese dramas. So she's like making me dig deep into it. You get me? So we've been having so much fun about these Chinese dramas, watching together and talking about it. And then just coincidentally, we take this trip to China right together. And so we go to China kind of like fangirls. So the city Hengdian, that's where they film the historical dramas. And so that's their film sets and stuff. So I'll talk about it next time. But we went there as like fangirls. It's like, oh my gosh, this is where they filmed this, and this is so it was really nice. And so me and her, yeah, we're like fangirling in Hengdian, because we're big Chinese drama fans. And so the thing is, I've only seen 2 dramas so far. Love Between Fairy and Devil and Lost You Forever, right? But I did not finish Lost You Forever yet. So Lost You Forever, I still recommend these 2 dramas. You guys, you can watch it on Netflix, and they're so amazing. But I do want to comment that Netflix English subtitles are terrible, but like 90% of the time it's okay, but 10% of the time, because I understand some Chinese, and then I asked to my friend Hua Hua, hey, is that really what that person said? And like Netflix ruins a lot of the translation, which is terrible. I don't know who they're hiring to translate their Chinese dramas, but just keep that in mind. If you're watching a Chinese drama on Netflix and the subtitles is weird, most likely, yeah, like Netflix screwed it up. But in general, the story You can still understand the story even with the bad subtitles, but I still want to just warn you that Netflix is not perfect, and they are. So, anyways, but you can watch these two dramas on Netflix, and they are amazing. So now, Lost You Forever. I didn't finish it yet. So it has 2 seasons. And so I finished season 1. And so before going into season 2, I know it's gonna make me cry. I mean, the title is called Lost You Forever, right? And so I don't know the ending, but I clearly can see it's gonna make me suffer. It's gonna make me cry a lot. So I can see that. And so I talked to my friend Hua Hua. I'm like, Hua Hua, I'm pretty sure this is gonna ruin my life. And so the thing is, Lost You Forever is based on a novel, a Chinese novel, and Hua Hua tells me that the novel is so much better than the drama, because Chinese censorship sadly ruins a lot of the story. But I appreciate censorship. I don't like seeing everything, so like America is like really wild about censorship, but China is really, really strict on censorship. And so I appreciate it, but they censor things that are ridiculous, and like it changes the story. And so she was telling me things like that, and I'm like, that's so crazy how different the drama is from the novel, but the drama is still really good. Okay, the drama is still really good, but keep in mind that the original story is not really told in the drama. Okay, so Hua Hua, my friend, tells me how the novel is so much better. And so I ask her, hey, I know this drama is gonna make me really sad and ruin my life. So I wonder, would it be better if I read the novel first and then watch the drama after? And she tells me, I think it would be better, like feelings and, the emotions, if you read the novel first and then watch the drama after. Season 2, to season 2, I'll be watching it after. And I'm like, okay. Let's do it. Okay, so I find the novel English translation. It's not official. It's a fan, just a random person, translated the entire novel, which is amazing, and it's for free. You could find it online. Just look it up. Lost You Forever English novel. I think just look that up. And also there's even an ebook. Like you could download the ebook file, and yeah, it's so you could find it. Okay, so or if you know Chinese, just read the original Chinese novel. So I'm reading the novel now, right? And so I'm reading it from the beginning. So I'm reading all the things that I've already seen in the drama, and I'm seeing all the differences. I'm just like, oh my gosh, it's so different. And so the novel is amazing, and the drama is amazing too. And so I haven't finished the drama yet, because first I need to finish the novel. So the novel, I'm more than halfway in. So finally I'm reading the parts in the novel that's of new stuff for me. So like this is what season 2 is going to be. So I'm finally in the meat of it, and I'm going to be reading the parts that's going to make me really sad, and I'm going to suffer a lot, but I'm slowly making my way through it. And so I'm really excited, but really, 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 I'm gonna be suffering a lot. And so I just wonder if by that time, like, I'm really, really sad or like really miserable, maybe I'll come chat with you guys to make myself feel better. I don't know. So just prepare for that. All right. So once I finish this novel, we'll see. And now the thing, so I'm currently in, still in Chinese drama mode, but also Chinese novel mode. And so I'm all into this, right? And so I gotta tell you another thing. So Lost You Forever has an actor in it, and this actor plays a character that I really, really like. And so I don't know any Chinese actors. I only know the actors from these 2 dramas I've seen, so other than them, I don't know them. Oh, except I know Wang Yibo. So do you guys know this name, Wang Yibo? So Wang, W-A-N-G, and then Yibo is Y-I-B-O. Have you guys heard that name before? So like I only know him because he used to be in a K-pop group. So he used to be in a K-pop group with Woods. You guys know Woods, right? So I've known Woods and Wang Yibo because of this K-pop group, and I really liked their K-pop group, but sadly it didn't succeed. And so that's why I have some affection for Woods, because I remember him from that K-pop group. And so I also have some affection for Wang Yibo because from this K-pop group. But I can't say I'm a huge fan of them. I just really liked their K-pop group. And the other members, I wasn't too into them. I don't know why, but I was only into Woods and Wang Yibo for some reason. And so So when I found out later that Wang Yibo is like now an actor, and I guess he's doing music in China, I don't know, but I'm happy for him that he's really successful in China now. So other than him, I don't know any Chinese celebrities. Yeah. So only Wang Yibo, or also the guys from EXO. Do you guys know the Chinese guys from EXO? But they're not important. Okay, so anyways, so Wang Yibo is really popular in China. I found that out recently, and so I'm very happy for him. So anyways, I know new Chinese actors because of these two dramas, Love Between Fairy and Devil and Lost You Forever. Now, Lost You Forever has an actor in it, and he plays a character that I really, really like. And so I don't know this actor, but he's playing a character. I'm just like, oh my gosh, I really like this character, and his acting is so good. But overall, I'm mainly, I don't know this guy, but I just really like this character so much. From Lost You Forever. I don't know if I should. Does anyone know the story? But anyway, so he's playing this character, right? And I really, really, really love this character. And the thing is, like, I know this character is gonna make me cry later. I just know it. Okay, so I'm really into Lost You Forever. I really like this character, and so this actor that's playing him, I didn't want to look him up yet because I don't want it to ruin like how I'm watching the drama. Because if I'm thinking about the actor while watching the drama, it kind of ruins it. It just kind of does. And so I wanted to wait until after I finish the drama, and then I'll look up the actor, and like I'll see, like, I don't know. I'll see how it is. And so the thing is, my friend Hua Hua, she decides to show me things about the actor. I don't know why, but she knows I really like the character, but I didn't say I really like the actor. I don't know the actor, but he does a great job though at acting. Like he's super talented, right? So she's showing me videos of the actor guy and telling me, oh, he's actually a singer. I'm like, are you kidding me? How is he a singer and an actor? And so she's telling me he originally was a singer and then became an actor. I'm like, that's unbelievable because he is an amazing actor. Okay, so one thing led to another, and I'm really into him. All right, guys. So his name, all right, his name is Tan Jianci. All right. So spelling, if you guys want, no, let's talk about. I'll tell you the spelling next time. But if you know Chinese or Pinyin, you can figure it out. So it's Tan Jianci, and so he is. So I go through this rabbit hole of like learning about him. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is gonna ruin, the drama for me now that I know who the actor is. But he is so amazing. So he's an amazing, talented person. And like as I'm learning more about him, and like the thing is, I don't know his personality well, especially because it's not like we could really learn a lot about him because he's mainly an actor, and singing is like. I don't know. Because I thought singing was his main job and acting was his side job, but now it seems like acting is his main job and singing is I don't know, but regardless, I just want to let you guys know I'm really into him. and I was really excited when I was in China, and so I saw his ads in China. I was just like, oh my gosh. And so like he is like collab with like 20 brands in China. I don't know. He's working hard. Okay, he's working hard, but he's also quite popular in China. But my friend Hua Hua, she tells me that Wang Yibo is more popular than Tan Jianci. Okay, so like that's to understand their popularity level. But Tan Jianci is still quite popular. I can see that. I mean, I saw his ads at least once a day, which was great. Okay, which was great. I really liked it. So yeah, so he's a hard worker, that I know, and he's so talented, and the thing is, right now he's filming a new drama in Hengdian, and so I was like, that is what a coincidence. I go to Hengdian, to fangirl with my friend, and he was there filming. Except, of course, I didn't see him. I don't know where he is. Of course not. But fans somehow know where he's filming, but. I'm not that kind of person, but I was just happy knowing that we were in the same city. I was happy knowing that, and like he's hard at work filming stuff, and I'm just fangirling there, and so yeah, so I just thought that was just really nice. So that was like the some of the fangirl things I did in China, but I really do like this guy. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure about my feelings for him in all honesty. So I started liking him in April because that's when I started watching Lost You Forever, his drama. And that's when my friend Hua Hua, showed me more videos about him, and now I'm like totally into him, right? And so it's only been about 2 months of me liking him, and I still do like him, but I'm sure it's I don't know. It feels more like infatuation for now. It feels that way, but I do feel like I like him differently than I do for my K-pop singers. But I can't explain it. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. So for now, it's a bit confusing. I mean, I just started liking him, but I just thought to let you guys know I like a new celebrity, but I'm so tired. Okay, let me rant about this a little bit. Why am I liking new guys all of a sudden? Okay, because 2 years ago, I started liking this new K-pop group, right? Creme Brulee, right? And I'm like, I don't want to like anymore. Like, I should stop liking new things. This is not good, okay? I just want to stop, okay? So, like, I was hoping that's the last thing, new thing, right? But no, now suddenly this year, I like another celebrity, and I'm just like, oh my god. This is why I can't get married. How can I like new guys so often? This is terrible, right? So I'm just like, okay. Never say never. Of course, life is still long. I'll probably like new guys later too. It's okay, right? And but it's just kind of frustrating for me. Like I don't feel good liking new guys this often. This was really, really so okay, so I like a new guy now, right? And so on top of my K-pop guys, add in a Chinese actor singer into it. Terrible. No, it's not terrible, but I just can't believe myself. I also don't really like Chinese guys. Okay, so that's the thing. I've seen lots of Chinese actors already, and I think they're good looking. They're good looking, and overall they're good looking for sure. I mean, they're celebrities, of course they should be, but in general, I never was into Chinese guys most of my life. So most of my life I've been more into Korean guys, and so Tan Jian-ci, he's a big exception. I have no idea why do I like him so much. So it's just kind of freaking me out at the same time. It's like I usually don't like Chinese guys, but for some reason Tan Jian-ci is an exception of a Chinese guy that I really like. So it's just, it's just really unbelievable to me, but it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. And so again, who knows? This could be just a phase. It could be. Maybe I'll stop liking him later. We don't know. We don't know. But some things for you to know about him. He's the same age as me, born 1990. I was shocked. So like seeing him in Lost You Forever, I had a feeling he was around my age, but I never like I could believe he could be older than me or younger than me, but I believed he was around the same age as me, but I didn't expect he'd be exactly the same age as me. So when I found out his age, we're exactly the same age, I'm like, that's crazy. What are the chances of that happening? Okay, so like that I still can't believe it. But anyways, but I do feel good liking someone the same age as me because all my K-pop guys are younger than me. So it's a new change, but it's a new good feeling to like someone who's the same age as me. But technically he is younger than me. He's born in October. I'm born in April. So he's a few months younger than me, but still we're born the same year. We're both the year of the horse. I discover him in the year of the horse. Feels like was meant to be. but also like what good timing I go to China after I start liking him, and so it was nice when I stumbled upon his ad and like I know him, and then I took a photo of it. So I thought that was all things are meant to happen in some sense, right? So yeah, so I thought that's really crazy. He's exactly my age. And so his birthday is October 5th. Maybe we should celebrate his birthday. I know, October 5th, one day before Juhan's birthday. I know. Isn't that crazy? But yeah, but since I've celebrated everyone else's birthdays, but I never celebrate, he's a new guy in my life, right? I should celebrate his birthday. But we'll see if I'm busy on October 5th or not. Who knows? Okay, but who knows? So come October 5th, if we celebrate his birthday, you'll see or not, okay? We'll see. So I think, oh yeah, and so he's from Guangxi. So that's why I mentioned that city earlier. He's from southern China, and he's born in the city called Guangxi. And so he said in an interview that we should go visit Guangxi. It's really pretty. It's really pretty, and like the food is good. And I'm like, oh yeah, sure. If I could visit Guangxi, I would love to visit there, but not alone. I need to go. I need to go with someone. But like, yeah, he recommends, to go visit his hometown. But the thing is, he was born and lived there until he was 12 years old. But then at 12 years old, he moved to Beijing, to pursue something. So anyways, but he moved to Beijing at 12 years old. So basically where he grew up is more in Beijing than it is in Guangxi. But he considers both of them his hometown, of course. Yeah. So yeah, that's brief summary about him. Yeah, so I'm really into him. I think he's really talented. But I don't really know him. I don't really know like his personality. Like, with the K-pop singers, we kind of know about their personalities, right? Because they reveal a lot to us. But Tan Jian-ci, like, as a Chinese actor and singer, he doesn't really have a lot of outlet to like really show his personality, if you guys get what I mean. But I do like him for just I like him because he's really talented. He's handsome. I think he's very handsome. And I like that he's such a hard worker, which could be both good and bad, but he's really, really one of the hardest working guys I've ever seen. And like, he's so mature for his, I mean, in the past he wasn't so mature in my opinion, but now he's like really, really mature and very professional. I really like that he's very professional too. So overall, he's a really cool guy. And so if you guys want to look him up, go ahead. But if not, you could wait until I do a live stream where I only talk about him. Yeah, I think I should. Okay, so like I'll give more details about him and like why, not why, but like more about my feelings. I don't know, because I still don't really know how I feel about him. But I do really like him. That's for sure. I do really like him. Okay, that's it. But he has an Instagram. Okay, so if you search him up and you find his Instagram, go ahead and find that. So Instagram is banned in China. So I do believe he uses something to bypass these banned websites. And so anyways, yeah. So he uses Instagram, but he updates like maybe once a month. And so yeah, you can see that. And like when I have my own personal Instagram, and my friend Hua Hua, she tells me like, why don't you tag him in your post? And I'm like, I don't think so. It's not necessary. It's not like he's, why would he want to see it? But like, like when I see his ad in China, like, shouldn't I tag him? And I'm like, I guess I should. And so I'm just like, fine, I'll go ahead and tag him. So I tag him in my Instagram post. And yeah, and just anyway, so like, just silly things like that. And that's all to say. That's all to say. All right. Okay. I really need to go. All right. So let's read your comments. That is the final update I want to tell you guys. And so future live streams, I got to tell you guys about all my traveling I did, specifically China being the best one. I need to talk to you guys more about this new guy in my life, right? And then maybe after I finish Lost You Forever novel or drama, but I hope you guys could read or watch it so that if you don't mind me spoiling everything, or but if you guys could watch it so that okay, so yeah, yeah. But by the way, if you want to know, yeah, the character he plays in Lost You Forever, his character name is Xiang Liu. So Xiang Liu is the why did I say so? 9-headed snake demon. That's his character in Lost You Forever. I know. His character is really cool. All right, so it's Xiang Liu, the 9-headed snake demon. But he's human form, of course. But he's really cool. All right, he's really cool. So you have to see Lost You Forever. Read the novel or watch the drama. But watch the drama and you can see how amazing Tan Jian-ci is and his acting. And it's just, he's amazing. So that's it. Okay, let's read comments. Yeah, Lulu, you want to buy the retro Monster X stuff? I have a lot of retro ones. Okay. Hopefully you can buy it from me. Okay. Yeah. Check my K-shopper list. Yeah. All you guys, once I post it, I really will do my best to post it ASAP. So yeah, keep an eye out for my K-shopper once I talk about all that. I mean, not talk about, post it when I post, you know, all the things I gotta do before moving. Sarah, is this the Sarah that I know? Is this, or is this a different Sarah? Whatever. Hey, Sarah. So she says, hi, it's been so long. How have you been? I thought I was imagining, but you are really live. So I thought she could. No, you're not imagining it. Yeah, I'm really live. But also, I've been doing this live for 2 hours, which is not, you know, quick update means less than 6 hours. All right. Okay, but yeah, we gotta. But I'm glad to see you in time before I leave, because I am finally done with my quick updates, and I will say more detail about these updates in future live streams, hopefully before I move, hopefully, or maybe it'll be after I move, I don't know, but hopefully soon, but anyway, Sarah, if you are the Sarah I know, long time no see. Okay, okay, and then Lulu says, OMG, my friends got into story of Yanxi Palace during COVID lockdown. My friend is a huge fangirl of Shukai. So 1 second. My friend Hua Hua, she's like an expert of Chinese drama. So like I talked to her about everything. She knows everything, right? So she has mentioned to me, Hua Hua mentioned to me about story of Yanxi Palace, and she recommends it to me. So my friend Hua Hua has really high standards, in my opinion. So if she says a drama is good, that means it's really good. So I'm glad your friends have seen it and they liked it, which makes sense. And I do know of Shu Kai. So Shu Kai, I haven't seen him act yet, but I do know he's popular. And my friend Hua Hua has talked about him before. But I'm not into him. At least just on first impression, I'm not into him. But overall, all Chinese actors, I have not been into them except for my man Tan Jianzi. Yeah. So just FYI on that. But I am familiar with more Chinese actors now. Hello again. I know I am deep into Chinese dramas. I didn't think this would happen to me. Like, it's just so crazy. I just suddenly got interest, and so I asked to my friend Hua Hua, who I know is interested in Chinese novels and dramas. So I just mentioned it to her. It's like, hey, I'm suddenly interested in Chinese drama. She's like, really? And then, like, you know, just dragged me into the rabbit hole. And yeah, and I'm, it's you know, I don't know if I could see dramas the same way, because you know, I really like a lot of Korean dramas too, but these Chinese dramas are another level that I don't think Korean dramas can ever make stories that amazing. So I'm just floored by it. It's just so amazing. And I'm really glad that I discovered an actor that I really like. And so I'm looking forward to watch his other dramas. Like I'm pretty sure his best drama is Lost You Forever, but he has made tons of other dramas and movies. He's just working so hard all his life. And so I'm looking forward to watch those, but some of them I do know I'm not going to be interested in. Just the overall story is just not my style. So like there are some of his that I'm not going to be watching. But overall, yeah, I'll be watching, yeah, as much of his dramas and movies as much as I can, because he is so amazing. So I hope you guys watch any of his dramas and movies, and then you will understand me. Like, I'm not being biased. I don't want to believe I'm biased, because my friend Hua Hua admits as well, like, he's an amazing actor. So that always like confirms for me, yeah, I'm not being biased, but like he's seriously amazing. All right. And if you guys start liking him, sure, okay, he can, like, he has enough fans. You know, he's from China, okay, he has enough fans. But if you guys start liking him, it's no big deal. All right, so like we can fangirl about him. Oh my gosh. Anyways, yeah, so like he's currently ruining my life right now, but it's okay. Overall, everything about Chinese entertainment is kind of ruining my life right now. And so right now he's filming this new drama, right? It's probably not going to be released until like a year or two from now, right? So he's filming right now, but then he also said a few months ago, like, he's working on his next music album. Yeah, I still can't believe he's a singer. He's a beautiful singer, by the way. You guys should watch his performances or listen to his music. I can't believe how talented he is. Okay, so he's also an amazing singer, and so I really can't wait to see like his new album. And so I haven't bought any of his albums. I wanted to buy his album when I was in China, but I shouldn't be surprised. There are no physical music stores that I could find in Shanghai. It was when I was looking for it in Shanghai, and like yeah, of course it's usually all online buying, right? And so anyways, once he releases his new album, I'll try to buy it. I'll try to. But yeah, I want to own at least one of his albums, you know? So Yeah. So anyways, he's going to be very busy this year too, all right? And so you will definitely hear me talk about him. So, we mainly talk about K-pop, right? But now add in Chinese entertainment. I'm into this new Chinese guy. So just that's you guys have to know. And like, future live streams. Yeah. Okay. Unique man. Yeah, do you know Unique? Yeah, Wang Yibo and Woods used to be in Unique. Yeah, I really liked them in Unique, but they sadly only lasted like 2 albums, I think, and then they disbanded. Yeah. Yeah, you guys were fans of Unique. Get out of here. I didn't think anyone even knew about them, but yeah, they were good, right? And so it just really, really disappointed me. Like, how come they had to disband? So your sister is also into Chinese dramas. Oh my gosh. And you also, Sarah, like them too, but you didn't watch one in a very long time. Okay, great. So I recommend. So the thing is, these 2 dramas that I've seen, they are really angsty, but they're so good. So I hope you guys don't mind angst, all right? But the story is amazing. So like I hate I hate feeling so much suffering from a story, but it's worth it because the story is so amazing. Actors are amazing. Some of the actors are not great, of course some are not great, but usually the acting is so amazing. Oh my gosh, it's just such a roller coaster. It's worth it, all right? It's worth it. I'm gonna cry a lot. Like, I'm sure Lost You Forever. I know. I don't know the ending, but I just know it's gonna make me cry a lot. And so I'm preparing myself for it. Yeah, guys. So anyways, Love Between Fairy and Devil. It's a comedy romance. It is, but it's a lot of angst as well, but it's so good. It's so good. And so I recommend that one. And Lost You Forever, I haven't finished it, but I'm sure it's worth it. All right. And so once I finish it, I'll just be raving about it. I'm sure I will be, and also crying at the same time, right? So yeah. Okay. So yeah, I only recommend those 2. And then but my friend wants me to not that wants me, but she highly recommends to me Untamed. So Untamed is a BL, and Wang Yibo is in it. So she tells me this is like one of the most famous Chinese dramas like ever, right? And so I'm not into BL. I remember we talked about this before. Like, I'm not one to like be interested in a BL story, but like, if the story is amazing, I don't care if it's BL or not, so most important to me is that the story has to be amazing. And so my friend Hua, she's also not into BL stuff either, but she gave this a shot because, Hearing is an amazing story, and she really, she says the story is really amazing. And so she feels like I really would like it. And so I'm like, okay, let's give Untamed a chance. And so after I finish Lost You Forever, I think the next one I want to see is Untamed. But it depends on how I'm feeling. Because if Lost You Forever, like, really like makes me cry all the time, then I don't think I could watch a new drama anytime soon. So we'll see. But Untamed is on my list of things to see later, and also like all the rest of other dramas and movies by Tan Jian-ci. I want to see later as well. Yeah, yes, I have a lot to keep me busy, but life, I still have to do my normal life, but I try to have time, for Chinese drama entertainment stuff. So yeah, so that's basically my life right now. Wang Yibo went to Hanlim Multi Art School. I don't know what that is. And Chinese actors are triple threats. Aren't they? I mean, my man Tan Jian-ci is really I remember his nickname. I don't know what it is in Chinese, but his nickname is like a hexagon warrior. So like, hexagon is like 6 things, right? So he's good at singing. He's good at acting. He's a Latin dance expert, like Latin ballroom dancing. I know. So like, he's just shocking. So, but overall, he's really good at dancing. But his expert is in Latin ballroom dancing. Okay, and then what else? Like, he's what else? What else would make him a hexagon? So what else is he good at? I'm sure he's good at lots of things, And so whatever. Yeah, he's really. He's a really, really talented person. Yeah, it's crazy. Lou says, doesn't matter what his person. I mean, I mean, okay, so Lulu's telling me about, me liking Tan Jian-ci, that it doesn't matter what his personality is when you are lost in in his Chinese drama aura. Okay. Okay, I guess so. I guess. I don't know. I don't know. So how I become a fan of a celebrity, the K-pop guys, as you guys know, is like I like them not only because they're talented. I like them for their personality. Like that's a factor for me to like keep liking you, because I like overall who you are as a person. But how talented you are is like, that's your job, right? So I like what you do as your job, and I like you as a person. So that's how I define as to how I become a fan of someone. So Tan Jian-ci, he already has the his job. I really like him for his job and how talented he is. So we have that covered, right? And now his personality. I mean, he's not a bad personality, that's for sure. It's just I don't know. It's just I don't know. So like, given there's not much we could know, that's the thing. So it's not his fault. It's just there's only so much that I could know about him, right? And so that's why I feel some, I don't know, it's not completely there, but I do like him. I do like him. Yeah, I do like him, but it's like, it's just, I don't feel like more than that, I guess, if that's the correct words. But it's still early. I've only known him for 2 months, right? So we'll see what happens down the line, and maybe, I don't know. So we'll see. Okay, so this is the journey of me liking a new Chinese guy, and maybe I'll be like, oh, I don't like him anymore. Maybe it's like, oh, I really like him more. I don't know. Okay, so this is just the beginning. Okay, and it was really nice to kind of see him in China, right? So that was probably the only time I could fangirl about him. And yeah, and that's we'll see. Okay, we'll see. But yeah, but I do want to learn more about him if possible. So okay, that's it. Okay, yeah, which character does he play in Lost You Forever? Yeah, I said that earlier, but just to say again for anyone latecomers, Xiang Liu is his name. Xiang Liu. I don't know the tone, like my Chinese is not perfect. Xiang Liu, and his what do we call that? I don't know, but he's not a regular person. Lost You Forever is all like fantasy style, but he's the 9-headed snake demon, and like he's so cool. He's really like, this character is so cool to begin with. All right, so even reading in the novel, it's like, oh my gosh, Xiang Liu is such a cool character, and then watching him in the drama, like Tan Jian-ci really embodies him so well and really represents Xiang Liu so amazing. He's so so amazing. Okay, so yeah, you guys have to see how amazing he is. So Lost You Forever, or if you want to see him in other things, or watch him sing, his voice is so beautiful. You can also see him dance if you see him like do Latin dancing, but also he does like pop, C-pop, he's basically a C-pop singer, he does the pop stuff, and so he's just he's too amazing. All right, I can't. Okay, so that's okay. Let's go. Chasing the new guys to keep you young, though. I don't know, girlfriend. I don't know, but yeah, all my K-pop guys, they're all younger than me, and yeah, they keep me young, I guess. But it is nice to like someone who's the same age as me. I still can't believe it. He's the same age as me, but I'm so happy for him. So at our age now, we're in our mid-30s, and he's really successful, because in his 20s, he was successful, but he wasn't super successful. But Lost You Forever came out in 2023, and that like really shot him to big popularity. So he's like, still like still in this new popularity for him, I guess. And so I'm really happy to see that for him, and and I discover him in good timing, I guess. I don't know, like, would I have liked him before? I don't know, but I could tell in his old videos when he was in his late 20s, he was still quite immature, but it's understandable. Late 20s, we're all immature, but definitely he's been growing up a lot, and like with his new success, and like he's just so much more mature, and like I'm just so proud of him. So I'm really proud to see how much he's grown, and I look forward to see his future stuff now. Yes, so it's just really exciting to be into a new Chinese guy, but it's also confusing for me at the same time. But it's okay. I'll figure it out later. But yeah, but for sure, it is a big factor, I think, of why I like him so much. It feels very comfortable liking someone who's the same age as me. I never thought this feeling would happen. Like, yeah, so it's just very interesting. Okay, anyways, I know my quote, Sarah's quoting me, I really need to go, aka 1 hour later. I know, but we are gonna go soon. Okay, we are. Okay, goodness, she hasn't heard in so long. I know. It's really a long time no see, guys. 2025, I only did like 2 live streams, I think, right? So yeah, I was really busy in 2025. I'm really sad of like how busy I was. But 2026, it's the year of the horse. I'm the year of the horse, and many exciting things has happened. I have a new Chinese guy in my life now, but also, you know, the new K-pop group in my life is still something like very exciting for me too. I've liked them now for 2 years, but I still really like them a lot. So, you know, it's so many things going on. But Monster X and Wano, I still like them. Let me clarify on that. So Monster X and Wano, I cannot say they're my #1 K-pop group. I can't say that. All right. So I like everyone the same. All right. Monster X, Wano, Creme Brulee, my new K-pop group. I nicknamed them Creme Brulee. And now my new Chinese guy, Tan Jian-tzu, right? So I like a lot of guys, right? And so who's #1? There's no #1, all right? I like all of them in different ways. Monster X and Wano just feels like my old friends. I've liked them since 2018. Yeah, they just feel like my old friends, and I always will support them. But I don't follow their stuff like very deeply. I don't have any of their private messages. I'm very content not knowing their private messages, and I'm not going to different countries to see their concert. I need to not only save my money, but I don't even have the time to do that. So yeah, so I don't follow them unless, yeah, and I don't go to music shows anymore. It's just legit, I just don't have time and effort anymore, and that's okay. I spent all that time and effort in the past when I was able to, but now I'm not able to, and that's okay, you know. So I'm doing less things with Monster X and Wano, but I still like them a lot. Every time when I see them, I would definitely still go to their concerts. As long as I can get a ticket, I'll go to their concert. And they just feel like my old friends. They're just my old friends, and I still wish them all the best, and I'm glad that they're still popular, right? And I hope they continue to be popular. And I'm just not super into them as I was in the past, and that's okay, right? That's okay. And so now I like a new K-pop group for 2 years now, Creme Brulee, and that clap was really loud. I'm sorry. And so Creme Brulee, and I support them more than Monster X because I feel like they're more of the underdogs in K-pop, if that's a hint as to who they are. But they are popular in Korea. They're very popular in Korea. But I do feel more affection for them because they're underdogs. But also they're new. They're also new to me, and so I want to experience these new things with them. But I don't go out of my way to do the things with Creme Brulee. Like if they do like a pop-up store, or if they do I don't know, like anything that goes out of my way to go do things with them. I'm like, it depends. I would go if maybe I have time and effort, but overall, I would usually not do it. And so, you know, that's how I feel with Monster X as well, right? So yeah, I'm more picky about it, even though I like Creme Brulee and I support them a little bit more than Monster X, but I still would be like, no, I don't need to go do those things, or I don't need to, you know. So I still am like low key about it. And I've never seen the new K-pop group in person. Like I'm not. No, I've been to their concert. Okay, no, I can say, yeah, I've been to their concert, but I've never met them at a fan sign. That's why I never met them at a fan sign, or like, you know, with Monster X and Wano, I've met them in person many times, right? So that's why I feel like they're like my old friends. But Creme Brulee, they're just a K-pop group that I want to support because they're new underdogs, and I really like their music. I really like the people. Yeah, and so who knows? I might stop liking them later. We don't know, right? We don't know. But for now, I still really do like them. The guy I like in Creme Brulee Pudding, he's a really cool guy. I wish I could. But at this point, I used to like Pudding more than Gihyun. I know it's crazy, right? So before I felt like I liked Pudding more than Gihyun. Just I like Gihyun. Don't get me wrong, guys. I still like him. I still like Gihyun. But Pudding personality and overall what I like in a person, he embodies that more than Gihyun. So I like Gihyun for lots of aspects about him, for sure. But then I discover Pudding, and so my nickname for the guy I like in the new K-pop group, I call him Pudding. So Pudding, overall, I like him more as a person than I do Gihyun. Now, add in my new Chinese guy, Tan Jian-si. Okay, so now we have a new guy, and at this moment, I kind of like Tan Jian-si more than Pudding. I know, guys, it's crazy. I know. So 1 second. Okay, so I kind of like Tan Jian-si more because number one, I think I'm just a little bit too infatuated with him at this moment. Okay, at this moment, it could change later. All right, so at this moment, I'm quite infatuated with him, so that's why I feel more feelings for Tan Jian-si than I do for Pudding. But overall, Pudding's age, he's of course younger than me, right? All the K-pop guys are younger than me, so Pudding is younger than me, and I always feel like that's a factor of how I like someone. Like, I know age is just a number, I know, but still, it affects how you like someone. It really does. And so once I've discovered Tan Jian-si and then finding out he's the same age as me, it's just so different liking someone who's the same age as you. Like, if he was 1 year older or 1 year younger than me, I would totally feel differently about him. I know. So sadly, you know, that's just me. Age is a factor for me. But he luckily, okay, he's the lucky one, okay, not me, okay, he luckily is the same age as me, and so that does make me like him more. And so for now, I mean, I still really do like Pudding a lot. I really do. Just Tan Jian-si is just winning by a little bit just because he's the same age as me. I think that's all to say on that for now. That's it. All right, so I hope that clarifies. I like all my guys, all right, and it's just complicated, but I do like all of them, and no one is number one for now, all right? It can change at any moment, all right? Okay. Can we go? I don't know. Okay, let's go. Okay, so, oh yeah, you spelled his name correctly. Yeah. So Lulu says, yeah. So she put the first name in last, but yeah, Tan Jian-si is the maknae. He was in a Chinese idol group. He first tried to be a singer. Yeah. So I didn't know he was the maknae, which means the youngest member. I didn't know that. Okay. So he used to be in the Chinese group called MIC. Yeah. And they debuted in 2006. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So I didn't know many details about that group. I only know it's called MIC. Yeah, but I didn't look too much into it. But thank you, Lulu, for telling me these things. 2006? So he was 16 years old at the time. What? I didn't know he debuted that early. Wow. Okay, yeah. So he was 16. Okay, and the other guys, yeah, older. Wow. So he really started young. But the thing is, he moved to Beijing when he was 12. And so he was a trainee, and like, you know, he was doing Latin ballroom competitions. And then, yeah, I guess then was preparing to become a singer. Yeah, because he was focused on dance first and then singing, and then okay, but then he got hired. He got scouted. Okay, scouted. Yeah, and then yeah, into this Chinese group called MIC. Wow, 2006. Gosh, 16 years old. When I was 16 years old, yeah, I was into K-pop at the time. Yeah, but still, wow, I didn't know he started that young. And yeah, his name in the group is JCT. I did not know that. I thought his name JCT, he made that name for himself later. I didn't know it was during MIC. Oh, but his name, Tan Jian-si, I think it's a really cool Chinese name. And like there's history about his name, but JC from Jian-si, and then T is his surname. Yeah, so not TJC. He could have done TJC, but no, JCT. Yeah, it does sound better. So Yeah. So you guys, yeah. So Lulu wrote it here. If you guys want to look him up, go ahead. But Lulu, have you always known about him? No. Did you? Did you? Okay, okay, but yeah. Lulu, tell me your thoughts. Sarah, it is you. Long time no see, Sarah. Sarah, have you been good? I know because lots of you guys, I haven't seen you in forever, but all you guys have been doing well. I've been well. Of course, I've been well. Just 2025, which is crazy. That's all. And then Lulu says, I watched the story of Yanxi Palace too. It's 70 episodes. I know they're long, but sometimes it's good when it's long. It's like you don't want it to end. So like I don't mind long dramas now. But yeah. But my friend recommends it, and if you recommend it too, yeah. And maybe after Lost You Forever, maybe I'll try Yanxi Palace. Maybe I'll think about it. Yes. So Lulu prefers the period dramas over the modern day one. I'm so sorry. So sorry. Okay. I agree. I think the way that they make period dramas and the story behind it, and like you can make it into fantasy. I mean, modern ones could be fantasy too, but like the way they make it is just so amazing. It's so amazing. And like I've seen some modern ones. I mean, because of Tan Jianci, I'm gonna see his modern ones later, and they're not bad. They're not bad, but the period ones are definitely the best ones. I agree. Yeah. Sarah agrees. Yeah. If everyone can fall for heated rivalry, we can all fall for Untamed. Is heated rivalry another famous BL? Like Chinese one? Is it a Chinese one? Okay, let me ask my friend Hua Hua about that. But yeah. I hear that Untamed is like really, it's like so popular, like everywhere. And so I'm very curious, how amazing that story is. The Untamed was and still is, you think, massively popular. You always find people talking about it and recommending it to others. Wow. So yeah, that makes me so curious, and that's why my friend as well recommends it to me. So okay, good to know. But I'm very curious to see Wang Yibo acting. I've never seen him act before, but my friend Hua Hua, she tells me he's not great. Okay, but I mean, he can't be terrible. I don't want to believe he's terrible, but for sure he's not gonna be as good as Tan Jianci, right? So I'm very interested to see his acting, and so. But given Untamed is so popular, surely it's not that bad. So okay, but we'll see. Wang Yibo, okay, rooting for you. Still, Wano and Monster X are Lulu's one and only, as they should be, okay? And no worries, yeah, whoever we like or don't like, it doesn't matter, yeah. You have gone to see twice, and we'll be seeing IVE on July 21st. Awesome, have a great time, great. Lulu works part-time in a theater and recently saw Close Your Eyes. Close Your Eyes? Why does that sound familiar? It's not Chinese, is it? Is it? But was that movie good? Okay, and then Sarah still follows Wano, awesome, and you're excited for his comeback, yeah, whenever it is, yeah, and then overall, you don't really follow K-pop that much anymore, and that's understandable, yeah, and you somehow become more interested in Thai entertainment. I have heard that Thai entertainment is pretty good. Now, I don't know if I would get into it, but then again, that's what I said about Chinese, but I want to believe I'll be stuck in the Chinese realm for a really long time. I don't know if I want to try another country, but I have heard Thai entertainment is pretty good. So everyone enjoy what you want to enjoy. Sadly, no. I just Googled him. So you did not know Tan Jianci before I said it. Okay, so you just Googled him and you got all the tea on him. Okay, I'm glad to hear that. Just a Google. I mean, he's a Chinese celebrity, so I don't know how much Google can tell you, but I'm glad. And also, yeah, that you don't know how to write Chinese, but you, even from the pinyin, that you knew how to spell his name. You know some Chinese, girlfriend. That's really impressive. So thank you that you found him out. Yeah, and you got all the tea on my new man. Good to hear. But yeah. Do you agree? Not agree, but I mean, but I hope that you can see why I'm into him. Maybe I don't know. Okay. Barbara says, okay, Barbara, I'm shocked you were even staying up until this long. So yeah, go ahead, have a good night. And she's looking forward to hear more about my trip. Yes, girlfriend, I hope to see you then too, and you can hear about again, I don't know when I'll have time to do those longer live streams, but I mean, this is over 2 hours long. Why is that? Okay, but definitely I need to make time to do those live streams, and you will hear more about it later. Yes. Sarah says, I'm okay. I'm glad you're okay. She's glad to hear that I'm doing fine too. She missed being, I know, guys, I always miss you. So she says, I miss being in your life, so I'm happy I came across this live, guys. Guys, I know it's been forever, right? And like, I always think in the back of my mind, how can I abandon my YouTube channel for so long? So I've been missing everything about it. And like, I wonder if you guys are still like, you know, interested. Not interested, but I mean, I wonder if I'll see you guys again in YouTube. I mean, it's been so long, I probably won't be able to see you again, right? And so anyways, I'm glad to see familiar faces here. But I mean, you know, Cherry, I wonder if Cherry sees me on replay, but I wonder if Cherry's okay, but we haven't seen her in a while. But you know, some of you guys, I really hope I could see you later, and knowing that you're all doing okay. So, okay, good to hear. But yeah, I have lots of more stories to tell you. So I'll hopefully see you guys more often later. Okay, Lulu says heated rivalry. Oh, is a Canadian hockey BL. Dang, do you recommend it? I don't know. For now, I'm into Chinese more, so I don't know if, you know, like I said earlier, I don't know if I want to try different countries yet, but if you really recommend it, I'll think about it. Okay, good to hear. Okay, Close Your Eyes is a K-pop group. Oh my gosh. I know them. Okay, so I thought you were saying a movie title, but no, Close Your Eyes. I do know them. They're a new K-pop group. Yeah. But I haven't heard their songs, or I'm not familiar with the members either. I mean, that's already a clue for you guys. That's not the new K-pop group I'm into. But yeah. Okay, but I hear they're doing well. And okay. Thai Entertainment has these love couples. I don't know. Sarah says, I never would think Close Your Eyes is the name of a K-pop group. Yeah. There's lots more other weird names out there. It's group with it's a group with AI name. Okay. Close Your Eyes was the group from that survival show. Oh, okay. Okay, good. All right, guys. Okay, so right now here in Korea is almost 3 p.m. I remember I started this around 12 p.m. But it's okay. Thankfully, I didn't have something I needed to do quickly. Thankfully, but I am busy for the rest of today. So thank you for dropping by on this quick update. Less than 6 hours is a quick update. So thank you for joining. And I've just said briefly about my updates, and believe it or not, I said briefly about them. But in future live streams, once I can make the time to just like say it all, relax, and just you know, what's the word? Just freely talk about it. Yeah, I have to set a time and date of when I can do that. So hopefully see you guys soon. But if not, don't worry. As I said earlier, I will be moving soon. So if that's a factor to my schedule, but I will do my best. And I'll see you guys hopefully soon. All right, so I will stay for a few more minutes just for the delay. And yeah, so as always, be safe, take care, stay healthy. Don't worry, be happy, stay happy. Good day and good night, whatever time zone you're in. And please watch any dramas of my new man, so that you guys can understand how talented he is, and I can talk more about spoilers next time, maybe. So yeah, just keep that in mind. And that's it. All right, so just stay like a little bit longer for the delay, and I shall get going. Good night, you too. Lulu, I'm so glad it's the weekend that I'm not really like taking up your time. But yeah, good night to you too, and hope we can chat soon again. Me too. And then Sarah says, it's time for me to go now. Finally, it's time. Finally. And she says, goodbye, Chrissy. It's been fun. Me too. And Lulu says, yes, we are beginning the marathon lives again. I sure hope so. I sure hope so. Yeah, I have lots of things to tell you guys next time. And then Sarah says, goodbye, everyone. Hope we will meet here again soon. I agree. So until who knows when. Like, it could be soon, it could be not soon. So just keep that in mind. Just keep that in mind, because I just can't have, what's the word? I don't know. Just let me stop talking. Okay, so I'm just gonna wait a few more seconds just in case. But yeah, I think I should write things down for the future live streams. Like, I know what I want to talk about, but I'll write it down to make sure I don't forget anything, and then hopefully can make it not be as long. But just never expected. No, no, okay. Okay, I'll be going now. All right. See you next time. Bye bye.